of interesting
a
pictures
lock
of
screen.
Ian.
So I decided to go ahead and just take this episode live here with Eleanor. Bitch, I'm from the East Coast. Well, questionable now. And we've got Phil Vondra on here for all of those who may be tuning in, which will be at least 4 or 5 of you tonight.
Marijuana plant I'm growing, or should I just leave that?
I mean, that's your call. Like, if you want people to just, I mean, that's it. Either could be a marijuana plant, or it could be kind of electric sex glowing in the background there, kind of like
sadly just marijuana.
Yeah. Well, all right. That's your call.
That could lead to the other thing. So
you could send me that. I could try to grow that.
So for all those tuning in, which is maybe even my couple daughters at the moment here, you know, Phil took the conversation there at the moment right off the bat. And, all right. Well, those of you tuned in, thank you for being here for the Trails Collective, another round of the New Year's Eve live show. I think this is year 3, I believe. So for all of you who've tuned in the past, thank you. For me, I felt like New Year's Eve was too often kind of overrated and just didn't kind of live up to whatever. So I would much rather be here talking to and with all of you about something or nothing at all, rather than doing probably something else that I maybe, you know. And so thank you for joining me in that.
Like what, Ian? You don't drink alcohol or coffee or tea or anything warm, actually. Even when it's cold outside, you don't really eat sugar, even if it's nice cane sugar. But granola is okay.
For the downtime in the you know, in between episodes, I've got this on the side. My Tate's gluten-free chocolate chip cookies here for when I'm not on the screen.
So what? It's just like an empty bag.
Dude, I even pre-opened a little package over here so I wasn't as noisy, and this will go in about 60 seconds, and then we'll move on to package 2. So, but to your point, Ellie, I don't know. I don't know.
Could loosen up a little bit, I think is what Ellie's saying.
It is. As the guy with the pot plant and the guitar in the background, I just need to come over and hang out in Phil's house for a while, I suppose, and see where that goes.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah,
it's been known to boot off.
Yeah,
not tonight though. It's an early night for me tonight. Got to be in bed by 9.
You got a big run tomorrow?
Going big tomorrow. It's a top secret, but I'm going big. I'll report on it when it's done, hopefully, or when I'm done.
Come on now, you can just tell us anyway. What you got going tomorrow?
No one's watching.
Going up to the cats. I'm going big. Going for 24 hours of hell, seeing what I can do to myself.
Oh, well done, sir. That should be better than the 364 days or whatever it was of the Yeti that you just posted for the, which confused me on your ultra sign up result. And it was actually just
64 days of Yeti.
Dude, buddy, pay attention to your ultra sign up page.
Oh, yeah, I should have worn my Yeti hat tonight. Yeah,
it's confusing.
I gotta check on that. Actually, I wasn't the most diligent 12 days of Yeti this year because ski happened, and I kind of stop my running a little bit. You know, when you can ski, you got to ski.
And I did see some of your posts there. Well, you're about to make up with it with whatever you got going on tomorrow.
You won't see any more posts though, because my Instagram got hacked, and
I don't see that.
That's why I've been getting weird images from you.
No, that's I sent those to you.
That's actually him, and they're legit.
I sent those to you from my other account.
It's good.
And also, like, Instagram doesn't text you directly like I do.
That's true. That's true. I was like, 2022, whatever. We're here. Like,
no, so I'm never getting my Instagram account. So I apologize to anyone that's missed me on Instagram.
So this, for those of you who are tuning in, who maybe caught the image, it should be a pretty full show as the Trails Collective shows go. You tend to know that we maybe tend to run long and tend to talk a little bit, and we've probably generated, I don't know, Ellie, you could verify maybe like 100 hours of media content this year, and we're going to add to it tonight. So we're going to kick off here in a second with the best ofs. Phil and Ellie and I will weigh in on some of the top 10 BeastCoast performances of 2022. Chances are mine will probably be the correct top 10. I think if we're evaluating,
it'll certainly be the correct top 6 to 10 because I thought it was top 5. So
me too.
I could see Ellie squirming in her chair a little bit there, so I went in for us, Ellie.
All right, top 10 total, 5 men, 5 women for the top 10. And then Ellie's we only count as half this year because she's no longer BeastCoast, so her vote quality only gets
last appearance.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
They get less weight. So we're going to kick off with that here in a second. And then we're at around 7:30, give or take. We'll move on to the Traileywed Game. I always thought the Newlywed Game was pretty ridiculous back in the day. So we're going to morph it into the Traileywed Game and have a few couples on here. And hopefully that will be fun. Now we're going to give a go at Trail Running Jeopardy. Because I thought that would be fun too. I've always kind of liked Celebrity Jeopardy from SNL, and I'd like it to go in that direction. But we're going to start with the questions that I have coming up here, and I'll have a few guests on, and the winning total, we'll make a donation to a trail entity of their choice. If they all just stink and they can't get any of my questions, they end up in negative numbers for all of them. I'll just probably send an invoice with their name on it to the trail entity, and it'll be more of like an invoice from them.
You can use it to buy me a bunch of Cheetos.
The Cheeto discussion.
I looked up gift baskets for you for Cheetos. And they're still in my cart. I forgot to push buy, but look for something in the mail coming.
I will look for it in the mail, and then I'll set it aside in the preppers area. And when we get to that where I need it, about 34 years from now, I'll turn to that bag of Cheetos, and it'll be just as good as it is today.
Just keep it until I move back, because it'll stay good.
You're never moving back.
You know, it'll happen.
You got West Coast now.
And then at round 9, we're going to go into Stump the RD's session with Trent Swanson at the helm if he's able to log in as well. And that's kind of the reality of this New Year's special is as well. You hope that people are going to log in, but I don't know. It's New Year's. People get to be doing other things. And, well, hopefully these people, turn out. 9:30, we'll move into some Lipsey Logic, and then we will wrap it up therein. So let's dig in into this intro here. And how do you guys want to roll with this? Do you want to start with maybe some honorable mentions that aren't on the list, or do you want to have other banter before we get into running through them? How do you want to roll?
I think we should do honorable mentions last.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Banter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what criteria did you guys use?
I went to the Global Authority on Trail Running Results, Ultra Sign Up.
Oh.
And if they've determined that's where you live, that's where you live. Ultra Sign Up is if they say you live in Alaska, that's correct, even if you moved from there 5 years ago.
Ah.
I was going to contact the US Postal Service, but they wouldn't respond to me. So I just went with Ultra Sign Up for Beast Coasters.
I took a little bit of if you race on the East Coast and won like a couple of events, some of my people are located, like one of them's located in the Midwest, or not, yeah, sort of Midwest, like Middle America, sort of almost East Coast, but like
right.
They won they had some pretty good results on the East Coast, so I was like, yeah, it counts. But I also did not include all of mine are races. I didn't include any FKTs, but it was fine for you guys to do that. I just didn't because I'm not that familiar.
There were no good FKTs this year except for Jack Kunzel. And then Kenzel, sorry. And then the Nolan's 14 FKT. Two top level FKTs. Everyone just got back to racing.
There was quite a shift in that FKT scene, as I think that you'd predict there. And I imagine Jack's one was a little closer to your original stomping ground, Phil, which gives it a little bit more weight.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to finish an FKT right next to a pub. Often I think the tradition is someone comes out with a pint for you.
Uh-huh.
It did look like he had a nice pint of something when he finished, so that was kind of cool. And he had a great videos.
Sometimes he's a little bit under the radar, though. And I didn't watch the videos, no. So some of the ones that have gone for that before, it was like higher media value. And so when they were out there and following them and then getting there, it was maybe a little bit more of a to-do. I mean, was his much different?
He had some footage, but it didn't seem like there was anything that was kind of put together. Some people are like, right, I'm going for the FKT. It's like film crew. It's like this. It's like that. It's a whole big to-do. I think his was more like, iPhones or, cell phones taking footage. Had some great, footage of him running back into Keswick. But I don't think it was anything kind of professionally made, but it was a good crowd in the town when he came running in. So he was getting a lot of cheers coming up the street.
And that was, so let's just, all right, all right, let's get into our top 10, because that would have been one that will get my honorable mention. So the couple other things I'll say about it, we'll save.
Well, okay. So if you want to learn more, you can listen to the podcast that I did with him, but no big deal. It's on the Trails Collective, podcast feed, find it. But also, so like, the last person that set the FKT was Killian. So of course there's going to be media around that. And then I thought Jack's was really interesting because, like, to me, it was like an FKT that was the most like a race that you could ever get. Like, besides not having any competition, there was a pacer with him the whole time. They were handing him food. It was very calculated. So it was almost like a race with no competition. It's like it was an awesome accomplishment, but also like it was very different than something that I think that's an FKT, and what it was just different. All
right, so we could dig deep into this, because then we go off on, I think that we could talk about FKTs for a while. Let's get into the performance, because then I was about to start giving thoughts along that line as well in terms of FKTs, and I'd like to see some of them be more unsupported. And all right, but let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's get into our let's just get into our top 10. Do you guys want to do them 10 and backward, or do you want to start men's and women's, or do you want to do the top performances? How do you want to do it?
I only have 5, so
5 for men and 5 for women.
But I didn't rank them in terms of like an overall. I just ranked them like men's and women's.
Okay. All right. I had set mine up in case
4, 3, 2, 1.
And in case we're moving in more of the progressive, not necessarily gendered category, I had also ranked them from 10 to 1. But let's go. If you guys have them as gendered, you want to start with your number 5 female?
I'll go. Yeah, I had Riley Brady breaking Vermont 100K course record in a time of 10:03:55 and winning overall.
What you got, Phil?
I had 5th place. I had Debbie Livingstone winning the Hurt 100 in Hawaii. She is a very active trail runner in this area, neck of the woods. I think we all know her pretty well. She's a pretty outstanding athlete, and winning her is very legit, in my opinion.
It is it is a legit race. I think I was looking at the times versus prior years, and I felt like it was a bit slower year, but doesn't take anything away from the Burley effort. And
you can only race who shows up,
Yeah. Number 5, I went Ellie, you in Bandera. I felt like you really hung in there, put it together. Yes, you've been on the scene a bit, running some pretty fast times, but in terms of laying yourself out there in a still pretty solid field, I went with your performance there.
Probably the highlight of the year. It was all downhill after that. So,
thanks. I wouldn't say that. I would say 14th at Western States is pretty solid. So I wouldn't say downhill. I would take a 14th at Western States any day of the week. It's going to take 15 years to get into Western States. So,
and you probably would have been, at least 11th if you just got up and off that chair when I wanted you to get off that chair and get to racing, and and not being wowed by the the 8 station crews in the last 20 or 30. But
that was the problem. I was just so excited to see everybody at the 8 station. I was like, I don't really want to leave. I'm just gonna hang. Problem. Like next year, Ian, or next time, if there is everyone, just you, because I never want to see you. So I was like, thanks, Ian.
I'm not out there to be kind to you. I'm out there to do a job and to get you out of that damn cozy chair. All right, number 4.
I had Justina Wilson at Eastern States 100. She ran a 26:04.
Yeah, that was definitely, that's an honorable mention for me at the end.
It was just cool watching her, because like Amelia paced and I was there, and just I don't know, she was just very in good spirits, calculated, like just going and she's also a little bit older than me, so just watching her put on this like master class for the masters was pretty incredible.
I think I met her at Cayuga a few years ago, and as I'm a little bit of an older trail runner, we were hanging and chatting, and she just throws down massive results. I think I finished very close to her at some kind of race. I can't remember, maybe it's Cayuga, I don't know. But anyway, my number 4 is someone's highlight of their year, according to them, is Ellie at Bandera.
Wow.
So nice to give her a mention. It's a little embarrassing. She's staring at me right now, but yeah, I thought that was a great, really solid run for her. And like I said, 14th the Western States, that's no joke either. So anyway.
Well, thank you.
Green, I would agree with, and Ellie, that's a good call in terms of Justina. That was she's just so consistently tough and not slowing down. I mean, maybe like in the moment, but incredible kind of year over year. So that is
I believe she is also runs a farm. Is that right? They have a farm?
I don't know that.
I think so. Yeah, I was chatting with her. I believe she runs a farm or work like I don't know, but like works obviously really hard doing that and fits into time.
No, she works. No, this is even better, or well, even more impressive. She is like she works in a medical facility that like helps people who are like moving on, dying, and she like helps counsel them and stuff. Like it's incredible. Her story is like it's insane.
Okay, so not a farm then. Sorry, or maybe they have a farm at home. I don't know, but like whatever.
I don't know. Working on a farm and like it's kind of the same. Like
all right, my number 4. I did go into the outside of just races. I went with Alyssa Godesky's New Hampshire 4K Peaks FKT. 3 days, 8 hours. She took nearly a day off of an already really solid mark. And I think just truly a phenomenal effort, especially here on the home technical turf.
Nice.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, I had sort of like a double, but so I had Rhoda Smoker doubling back after Cocodona 250 to win Massanutten a week later. That was incredible to me. Also interviewed her on the Trust Collective podcast, which she is so cool, so legit. So check that one out too. Just saying. But that was my number 3. Definitely.
Cool people.
Huh?
You really get to talk to some cool people.
I know. I think I had you on the show at one point.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So check that one out as well. All right. Me?
You.
I have Riley Brady kicking some sorry ass at Javelina, having an outstanding, like solid run.
I would agree with Matt. That is also my number 3. And I also agree on the incredibleness of Rhoda Smoker. She's in my honorable mention, which just feels like such weak sauce to have her an honorable mention because she's such an incredible individual. And to have those doubles or double backs are just, I think, I don't know, kind of mind blowing to me. So she was my honorable mention list with that double in mind. I think if they were, in any case. And my number 3, agreeing there, Riley at Javelina. Finally, I think at a national stage came together. Some of maybe the tweaks in the training. And I mentioned Ellie, and I think even Riley, like, I don't know if I didn't know whether I felt like they could make that jump on that national stage or not. I think I had always hoped, but I just didn't know. Ellie, I saw some of your wheels in terms of the marathons, and I felt like it was more capable. You were closer. Riley, I didn't know. And there it was. It kind of all came together, and I think that was wicked exciting to see that all shake out.
Yeah,
I had Riley for my second, actually, Javelina 100, running at 14:45, third fastest time on the course. Also putting on a masterclass of just slowly moving up in the field. They ran each lap the same pace, which is incredible. And then like coming in second to somebody like Devin Yanko, who's just a veteran.
Had a great year.
Yeah, I'm like just rolling out the red carpet for Riley. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I had her on the pod a few weeks ago. No biggie.
All right, number 2. Who do you got?
Second place for me is going to be Marianne Hogan. Second at UTMB.
And I agree with you there as well. I also went to number 2. And for those maybe listening in, Ellie and Phil and I were going back and forth with some of the texts ahead of knowing One, whether to include Canadians there in the Beast Coast ranking, but then two, in terms of establishing where people like live and how you really how you classify them, I guess, or whether they count or not. And with a home base in Quebec,
she is in Montreal.
Montreal, just decided that kind of it counted. So I also went with Marianne's performance. And I think from Bandera to Western to UTMB, all incredible, I think, performances. But just that, I feel like the that pinnacle or end game of UTMB, I also gave number 2.
Yeah, she's one of my, like, not exactly honorable mention. Like, I kind of thought she actually would be like East Coast Trail Runner of the Year for us. If we were including Canada, just incredible. And also coming back after 2 years of injury. So yeah, I had her as like honorable mention, like asterisk.
Sounds like we might all end up on the tie or agreeing on number 1.
I know. I hope we did. Ellie? Jeez, this is a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. I definitely had Sarah Beal, JFK, taking down an Ellie record. Not mine. Ellie Greenwood, 2012 record, 6:05 JFK. Also, I love that she's raced this 4 times and gets better at it each time, which says a lot. Kind of similar to last year, I think Rachel Lemke was Spalding, how her progression at Hellgate and then last year really like beating the course record and winning. I really enjoy the process of like, maybe you're not the best immediately, but you learn and you get better. And so I loved that as well. Well-deserved Sarah from Ohio. Great job.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm there as well. And not just going just under the record, but crushing an existing record from an individual who was kind of in their prime years and one of the best in the world. So, yeah, truly incredible. All right.
Yeah, it's very competitive. I mean, it's just such a competitive race. I mean, when you're breaking records there, you really are, throwing down fast times. So.
And you're able to put it together in terms of the combination athlete with the road sections as well as the trail, and it kind of has to be the complete picture, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right, men, M5.
So I had Eric LaPuma. After disappointing at Breakneck, he really put together the second half of his year with second place at Broken Arrow, 4:20.24, and then 6th place First American World 100K in Berlin at 6:53, and then Thailand 80K, second American, 7th place, helping us bring home the gold in 7:52. I just thought that was like really, like, I could have picked one of each, but I figured might as well like take them all. I thought he did put together a really solid second half of the year.
Nice. I have in 5th place David Hedges, winning Quest for the Crest. He beat Avery Collins there. I think Avery Collins was 2nd, and he's legit. And obviously, David Hedges is legit. So, and that's a pretty competitive race these days, I think, Quest for the Crest for mountain goats.
And Eric was in my honorable mention list. Just incredible athlete and performances. My number 5 went to also David Hedges, but maybe because it's burned in my memory and so visceral, I went with his performance at Breakneck Point, because it, as well as Max ran, and that it went down to the wire, and the way that it did finish was just incredible. I don't know how many times I've watched that video. Well, probably not that many times. I think I've watched that video maybe like 4 times now or whatever of the two of them duking it out. But I mean, every last ounce, and he came in also really fit for that race. And I thought that was a pretty incredible performance. Yeah,
I had David at 4, Quest for the Crest and Breakneck. I think they were 2 great performances. I think that it might have, like, though, I think those were his 2 performances of the year. And then unfortunately, like his big race UTMB, he admitted it, because like I went over there pacing, it was supposed to accrue, and just he was a little bit, like, I think overcooked. And so definitely Breakneck and Quest for the Crest, 2 incredible performances. So he was my number 4.
All right.
Phil, what you got in an M4?
4, I got Ryan Clifford, Eastern States. You know, that can be pretty hot and burly, and 20 hours, 13 minutes there is pretty solid. So, yeah, good East Coast lad crushing some East Coast Trail.
And I don't think I hadn't put the face with who he was at Cayuga, I think this past year or so. And every time I saw that person come through the aid station, I was like, who is this guy? Like, it looked like he was just kind of running easy. I don't think he took fuel from a single aid station, like in like the entire race, and just didn't look like he faded at all. And finally kind of figured out who he was and the level or caliber of athlete he was. But pretty impressive, and he's my honorable mention on a list as well. My M4 I gave to Dan Green for Rim to River. He ran a 15:34. He was 3 minutes under Caleb's prior really solid course record. So he was my number 4.
For number 3, I had Zach Miller's 5th place at UTMB. Even though, you know, he's definitely a Pennsylvania person, but travels around a lot, doesn't, but I still think he does sometimes race over here. And I know that he just does feel a lot of loyalty to Pennsylvania, especially Conestoga. And then just seeing him first at Andorra and then at UTMB, it was really like, I think when you suffer an injury that big, you always wonder if you're ever going to be as good as you are. I mean, like whenever I get a niggle, I'm like, oh, it's the start of the end. But he really did a lot of work in the past year or two. And I was really happy for him to have such a solid performance at UTMB. So he took my 3rd spot.
Nice. I think that's good. All right. 3rd spot for me is Garrett Corcoran, JFK 50 winner.
And that's the Beast Coast roots. I mean, I guess there we can accept it. What he's in, I think, is he Salt Lake at the moment?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think he's Salt
from
Lake.
Maryland.
He's from Maryland, Baltimore area, but I think he's been in Salt Lake for a year or two, if I remember talking to him after the race.
We'll give him that.
Fair, Ellie, but he's still, that's where he's
a year then, and then we've forgotten her.
No,
we don't forget Ellie.
Okay.
All right, my M3, Jacob Moss, his performance at Canal Corridor, 3rd fastest 100 in the country this year.
Nice.
For my number 1, I had Caleb Bowen.
2. No, we're on Corridor. 2. You're M2.
What?
Yeah, number 2. Right?
We're on 2.
Oh, 2. Shoot. All right. Rewind. Okay. Number 2, I had Jared Burdick, Heiner 50K course record in 4:20.
Nice. Cool. My number 2 is Zach Miller. I think 5th at UTMB, and then the Andorra by UTMB race was pretty solid. And UTMB was just so competitive this year, the times that people are throwing down. I mean, you look at the guys ahead of him, it's like, you know, absolute crushers. So I think 5th was good.
And I think for me on Zach, I didn't give Zach the nods just because he still has the anchor in PA, and I think he's still here for a chunk, but I feel like he's more kind of Colorado based at this point. I could be wrong. I don't know where he's at in this moment or these months. Somebody
is actually parked in my driveway.
It could be, which it could be.
He's hanging out in Ellie's living room right now.
That's funny. All right, my M2 went to Caleb Bowen for his race at Canal Corridor. A truly incredible race between he and Jacob. And he is the top 100-mile time in the country this year with that performance, which was just incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, he was my number 1. Like, incredible performance. Also, like, I mean, just watching, like, him he really embraces also the West Virginia running community, and I think that's pretty awesome. And also a track coach, and so he really is somebody that just like invests in the community, and I really respect that. And seeing him put together that performance paced by Arlen, which, you know, Arlen's darling right here, so very impressive performance for Caleb. And next week he's going out to Banderas. So hopefully, like, he's my sleeper pick. Like, last night I was at dinner with a bunch of people, and, you know, we were all discussing it. And like John Ray has this like list of like men and women. And I'm like, Caleb Bowen is not on this list. So this list is invalid. And so I'm really hoping for some good stuff from the Beast Coast again at Bandera.
Right on.
Nice. Well, I needed to have at least one Canadian in each of my top 5. So I got Mathieu Blanchard, 4th place UTMB. I mean, he had a stellar season, 5th at Lavaredo, 4th at Madeira, but racing Killian to the wire basically in Chamonix is my number 1. And he also lives in Quebec, in Montreal, and trains with Marianne. They run together.
So there you go. I think for him, I put him on my honorable mention only with the asterisk. I felt like at least for most of last year, I think he was back in Europe, right? I think he was focused.
No, I think he was full time in. He was on. I listened to him on Debo interview him.
Okay.
Pretty much. I mean, he's basically full time in Montreal.
Okay. All right, then I probably would have had him up higher as well because a truly incredible athlete and performance there as well. And then my number one was Ellie, the one that you cued me to that wouldn't have been on my radar otherwise. And this was also thinking outside of the race box was Reed Woolsey, the individual who I don't even know if he has. I can't remember. I don't think he has much of a running background, but he signed on to the vertical challenge and amount vertical gain in a month. And he saw that he was doing pretty well. So kind of went all in. And so he set the record for world elevation gain in a month, world record for elevation gain in a month. It was over 500,000 miles or over 500, sorry, over 5. I'll just give you the actual number.
That's a lot of elevation.
500,635 feet of elevation gain in 1 month, over 933 miles. So, dude, without the background, put in 31 miles a day at an average of over 500 feet of elevation gain per mile. Dude, it's just, that's one of those things that like
a month is impressive enough.
Dude, like I can't comprehend it. It's one of those things that just takes it to like this whole other bar that even if it's not like a race performance head to head, it makes me like on this running toughness, whatever commitment scale, it's just like this otherworldly figure in performance.
Maybe
and he's from North Carolina.
New race where you have to do 3 miles uphill every hour on the hour.
Is that a thing?
Crazy elevation race. Like it's like a backyard, but it's like just a hill race up and down a hill.
Is that a thing? Or so there are some of those out there.
I don't believe it is a thing, but maybe it should be a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some like a
vertical K per hour.
Yeah, so I think Brian was steep endurance. I think
doable, because like the backyard's doable, right? It's like 4.16 miles, whatever it is. So just figure out what's the right sweet spot and the right bit of elevation, I guess
we could tweak that. I think Brian was steep endurance with his Mohawk race. I think he did something similar.
Right.
It may have just been a timed race on the ski slope, but he could have done something similar. But that's a good thought.
Oh yeah, those time races on ski slopes are pretty cool.
But we could probably figure that out. All right, so we could probably banter an honorable mention for a while. Well, I'm going to try to stick to keeping us somewhat on time, and I am going to shift to the newlywed game. Looks like, Phil, you've got the pot looks like it's grown in the background there while we've been talking.
Yeah, I just put my Adirondack 46 patch there, no biggie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to put that in front of Ellie, so she's like, I'm really desperate for someone on the pod. Maybe I'll break and talk to Phil about how he did the Adirondack 46s in 8 weeks because he was bored. But no biggie.
And Ellie probably has a bigger rock star party in Boulder to get to tonight.
Yeah,
with
she's going to be out rocking tonight.
Elite athletes and like
Zach's van downstairs.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's only 5:34 here, so we got a long night.
Yeah, but you started at 5 o'clock this morning, didn't you? You're going for a 24-hour.
No.
The way you do it in Boulder.
I didn't want to make anyone feel bad, so. Actually, Phil, if you start before midnight tonight, your whole race, your whole time, whatever you do tomorrow, will be counted for 2022.
Oh no, I'm starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. 6:30 at Benning parking lot, starting the Catskill 9 as my opening peaks, the 9.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck, Phil.
I got a bag full of sugar, caffeine.
So it's scratch. You basically have scratch when you say you have a bag full of sugar. That's what yeah.
It's a good type, though, right, Ellie?
I mean, I send him scratch. He sends me those weird photos. I don't know. I'm just...
all right.
Whether
Thank
she
you
wants
both
them or not.
for putting in the time, and looking forward to connecting with you both more later.
All the best for 2023.
Yes, good luck.
Everyone watching.
Yes.
Looking to see what you guys get up to. See Ian race. It's always nice, and Ellie crushing. It's great.
Cool.
Right on.
See you guys next year.
All right, guys.
All right. See
you later.
All right. Thanks for being on the back end. Michelle and Josh, Kozak Duo, rocking the shades. Angela for being on there. Bringing you guys through. Amy, I think it's the first time I'm talking to you where you don't have that cow in the background. I feel like I'm out of place here, and there's...
I know. Well, we are having little Wi-Fi issues, so we can't be in my normal cow spot.
Oh, huh. Well, that's all right. Well, I'll adjust in my old age here. Kozak's well done. I'm pretty sure Eric was going to be on here. Instead, it looks like there's somebody from ZZ Top, I believe, is instead rocking the episode alongside a princess, it looks like maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. We're trying to do New Year's.
That's good. Yeah. There needs to be somebody blowing one of those little kind of blowy things in your ear, kind of next to you right there, maybe. All right, guys. Thanks for being on here. Angela. All right. So let me get to my makes it intros with Phil and Ellie. We just kind of jumped right into it. For those that are listening, I didn't give you the intros, but I will to this crew here. Angela Legg Carter is going to be leading the session segment, whatever. In the back end here, I will drop myself out here in a second. She's coming to us from Poughkeepsie, New York. She cranked off a solid year of trail in 2022 with events including Breakneck Point, World's End, Whiteface, and Escarpment. Being a trail runner and psychologist, who better to lead the inaugural Traileywed segment. Becky Kozak, along with Eric, is lead idiot runner. Becky would be a safe place to put your money if voting on a podium finish at a distance 100K or up. This year included Howland's Neck, 24-hour, and the Oil Creek 100. Eric is the points idiot runner and is also a safe bet to be on top or atop the podium. Eric's year has seen wins at Howland's, Hills Creek, Eastern States, and Black Forest.
Not Eastern States, but yeah, thank you.
What was it? It was what was the other one? Not Eastern States, but there's something else.
I don't know. You ran it. Yeah, but I didn't win it.
What did you finish at Eastern?
Fourth.
Oh man, slipping.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Moving on. He's a coach as well as RD, hosting a number of idiot runner events from their place in Wellsboro, PA. Amy Rozecki. Coming to us from South Deerfield, Massachusetts, Amy's been crushing trail and ultras since the early 2000s. 121 races under her ultra sign-up profile belt, with 2022 including Whiteface, Moosemaloo, Twisted Branch, Groton Forest. She also directs the Vermont 100 and a handful of others, including Seven Sisters and the Chesterfield Gorge, under her BeastCoast Trail running entity. Brian, of 168 races on his ultra sign-up profile, 115 are trophies. In case you needed somebody to tell you that, Brian, because I'm assuming you don't look at such things. I'm pretty sure you just switched from Hotmail to Gmail, which means maybe you're getting there in your old age, but I thought I'd give you that stat. Brian is full-on Beast Coast mode when the gun goes off, spanning distances, technicalities, and locales. Josh Merlis, coming to us from Albany, New York. Josh has made a career of running. In addition to finishes at Beastern Gems, including Escarpment, Greylock, and JFK, he owns and operates Albany Running Exchange and Timing Company. And he's probably best known for being Michelle's husband. And Michelle is a versatile speedster out of Albany. 2022 highlights included a win at Breakneck Point, earning a slot on the U.S. Trail Team for Worlds, Whiteface, and a PR win at Escarpment. So quite the burly crew. It is awesome to have you all. I will be on the back end here at Angela. I did bring up a photo. You can let me know when that might be needed. And but otherwise, let me know. I'll drop back out so it evens out the screen, and I will let you set the stage for the newlywed game and just getting into it. And I'm looking forward to watching this. All right.
All right. Are you all able to hear me? Okay, because it turns out that in Ian's great intro, one thing you'll notice is he did not say that I am a professional podcaster and I am not a professional game show host. So this is going to be really exciting to see how this goes. But I'm so excited that you guys are here. Ian did awesome with those amazing race intros. But as you all know, and I asked each of our couples tonight for a little fun fact, something that maybe gave us a little bit of insight into the history of our couples. So for our audience, I wanted to give them a little hint into what it's like to be a power running couple, such as yourselves. So one of our couples has a couple of prize axes in their household, and the wife proudly will proclaim that her axe is way bigger than his. Our another couple, they became an official couple on Cinco de Mayo when they both were celebrating simultaneous wins at a pretty epic race. And then finally, our third couple, who celebrated their wedding anniversary yesterday, congratulations. They met at a Halloween-themed trail race, and there is actually a picture of the moment that their eyes first met. So I don't know if Ian can actually show that picture, if he is listening. All right, we'll come back to it.
All right, let me see if I can get it. All right, so it looks like my screen wouldn't share when I wasn't on. So let me try again.
Okay.
All right, so it is a cute photo, and it's when Angela, you said this was a potential question, I was like, man, there's no way like I'd remember like the answer to that question. So
you know what though, he can't share that whole axe question either. He doesn't have a picture of that, so there's no proof behind that.
Fair. All right, let's see if you guys can man, this is going backwards here. Let me see. I've done it before, but how does the bear with me? Gar.
While he's working on it, to that couple whose picture we are trying to pull up, would you all like to share a little bit about that moment when your eyes first met?
Sure. Would you like to say something, Michelle?
Oh, no, I think you should go because I think that moment was really significant for Josh.
Well, okay, fine. So the picture is not pulled up yet. I put on a Halloween theme race called the Hairy Gorilla Half Marathon and Squirrely 6 Mile. And we have a costume contest each year. And in 2013, 9 years ago, Michelle showed up to the race. She was new to the Albany area, and she was one of the contestants. She had dressed up as a deer, and I was the organizer of the costume contest. And so the photo, which you should see at some point in the next 10 years, what's pretty neat is that someone actually took a photo the first time we ever saw each other. Now, to add a couple of extra little pieces to this puzzle, so she was dressed as a deer, as I believe I said. Something I didn't mention when I submitted that was her boyfriend was dressed as a hunter. So she did not come alone to the event. You're gonna just show the picture.
I think it's sharing. I'm not sure if other people can see it, but it says it's sharing on my screen.
Okay, well that's it. But in case you can't get it.
So anyway, she was there, and what was pretty neat was just I saw her. We didn't actually interact beyond me just saying, "What is your name? What are you?" And so she pranced around as a deer. She would go on to win the costume contest. And, there we are. Okay, so you can see clearly she was enamored with what I was wearing.
Which is what, Josh?
I was dressed as a woman. Those socks were knee highs with hearts on them. Yes, I was in a dress. I had a wig on. And so, yeah, that is the moment we met. And as I said, she did win the costume contest. So the prize was getting to marry me 5 years later. To be fair, to be a little more accurate, we actually didn't see each other again for 7 months after that. And then it would be a while until we were more than just friends. But that is the moment we first met.
That is so cute. And happy anniversary, which I heard you celebrated yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was our 25th anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations. And so how about our couple who had their shared wins and became an official couple on Cinco de Mayo? Can you share a little bit more about that story, Amy and Brian?
Yeah, that was, many years ago. As Ian said, we're the old couple here. But yeah, we, like Brian and I obviously knew who each other were, but in 2009, we were both running the Seven Sisters Trail Race. And it was kind of a surprise victory for both of us, I think. And after the race, that's when a friend of mine was going out for Cinco de Mayo. I invited Brian out. He got drunk enough to kiss me. And ultimately from then on, we were a couple. And so that's, so Seven Sisters obviously holds a very special place in our heart.
Awesome. And then our final couple that made it very clear to me that size matters in their household. Can you all tell us about these duo axes you both have?
Yeah, she can explain that. But first, Josh, I trust that I guess the best way to put it is you poached her from the other hunter, correct?
I'm not sure if any of our parents are watching or the other hunter, but
fair enough. So I won't continue questioning then. All right, go ahead, Becky.
Well, honestly, I have an axe because I won the 100K, and the same year he won the 50K. So he has a wedge instead of an axe. He gets picked on a lot because mine is bigger than his.
You can do a lot more of the wedge than you can with an axe, though, if you think about it.
And thankfully, this wasn't one of the questions that I asked, which weapon or lumberyard utility does your partner use? All right, so thank you, couples. Okay, I'm gonna run down the rules so our audience knows what in the world is going on. As you all know, I emailed each of you separately with 5 questions for you to answer. And we are gonna start off first with the questions that I asked the guys to answer. And our 3 wives will answer them. They will try to guess what the guys said. Each time that you get an answer correct, you're going to get 5 points. If you don't get it right, it's just 0 points. And after we go through the ladies guessing, then we'll switch to the guys and we'll have them try to guess their wives' answers. And in the event, although I think a lot of these questions are pretty tough, in the event that there's a tie, we'll go to a sudden death round and we'll just keep hurling questions at our couples until someone gets something wrong. And by the end of this, we will crown the king and queen trail running power couple. All right, so the first question, so this one is going to go for our ladies to guess. So the first question was pitting the West Coast against our beloved East Coast trails. If your partner, so if the guys, you're guessing for them, if your partner could only train in one location for the rest of their life, where would it be? Their Eastern hometown trails, and I tried to throw out a couple examples, the Berkshires, Alleghenies, Endless, Mountains, Hudson Valley, Catskills, Green Mountains. So if they could only train on those Eastern hometown trails or the Rockies, what would they pick?
Are you going to call on us one at a time?
Or question? Yeah, I think some of these you might need some time to think for an answer, but this one's kind of a multiple choice. So let's go. I'll just go in the order on my screen for now. So Amy, what is your guess?
where Brian would run, I'm going to say Seven Sisters. No?
Hold on.
Rocky?
Oh, wait, no, there we go. I said she would say that, though.
Every day.
He did call that you were going to say that.
Listen, Rocky's the only run up, I don't know, some other mountain. That's what I got.
Awesome.
All right, off to a great start.
Yeah, no, we're rocking. We're rocking.
All right, Michelle.
All right, so I think that my husband has a pretty good sense of humor, and I know he likes to make me laugh. So I'm going to guess that he said he would spend the rest of his life running around the SUNY Albany campus. Oh, that's what I was hoping you would say.
The Berkshires. What are you talking about? The question was running on trails. Berkshires.
Okay.
Good try, Michelle. Good try.
All right, Cossacks, it's up to you to get somebody on the board.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna say Colorado.
He did say Rockies or Ouray. Yep. Awesome. Cossacks with the hats and glasses are on the board. All right, second question. During a run, what is your partner's most common complaint? So again, you're saying what Brian, Josh's, and Eric's biggest complaint is. And I think I'll rotate who has to go first. So Michelle, when you're ready.
Oh, me first?
Yeah.
I think his most common complaint is that he has to go to the bathroom.
Need a bathroom.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, Becky.
I'm gonna say time.
Like I don't have enough time.
Like needing more time.
Now, being that it's winter time, I suffer from cold hands. So my biggest complaint is my hands are always cold.
All right.
For me, or
Yeah.
for Brian, I'm going to go ahead and guess everything.
Oh.
If it's like hot, then he's too sweaty. If it's cold, then he's too cold. Yeah, maybe just too sweaty.
Oh,
Is that the good one?
Is that
right? Sweat.
Yay!
does that count?
He wrings his shirts out for me after he runs, and like apparently that's sexy. Women didn't know that. That's very sexy. The amount of sweat.
Dude, you're upsetting my whole concept of Rezeki. You're so damn tough when the gun goes off. You're just a complainer all the time. Gosh.
I complain a lot. Yeah. A lot.
Wait, so we're all tied, I think.
I think so. Everyone has 5 points right now. All right, question 3. Your partner has the house all to himself while you go out for a long run. How does he spend the day?
Taking a nap.
Yay!
Nice job.
Yeah. I have no doubt.
5 points. Amy?
What does he really do? He cleans. But other than that, he watches GCN on YouTube.
No.
No, neither.
He
goes for a run. Yeah.
I wouldn't just hang around.
That's true. That's true. He wouldn't be just hanging at the house.
It's fair though. He can go for a run if he wants to.
Yeah.
All right, Michelle.
Oh, all right. There's a lot of things that I could say that Josh wouldn't be doing, but what would he be doing? I'm gonna go with working.
Please no.
Dancing and tormenting our cat. I'd be dancing and tormenting Hudson.
I would have guessed that something to do with Hudson was going to be in that answer.
And the dancing too. For anybody who's ever caught some of their videos they posted on Facebook here and there, Josh is always the one kind of dancing some sort of music and trying to get up in Michelle's grill, and Michelle's just like all like business, and Josh is just like, come on, play along. And so I can see him rocking that on his own.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, question 4. I think this one might be a toughie, maybe. We'll see. All right. If your partner was an animal known to inhabit our Northeast wilderness, what would he be? I think we're back to Amy first.
Oh boy. I don't even know. Known to inhabit, I mean, his favorite creatures are cats, but I don't know. He's enamored by like sheep. I know if it was in the West Coast, it would be a marmot, but I don't know. A sheep? Or is it because you saw goats on the trail today that you're going to say goats? He saw a guy walking goats on the trail today, so we're very distracted by that. I don't know, sheep?
Oh.
No?
I said it'd be the...
Oh,
Amy
he's
calls
the
me the
bee-dog.
bee-dog.
Oh.
I thought she was going to get this one.
You know, Ian says that like Brian's like all business and like crazy when a gun goes off. I dubbed that his alternate personality. It's the B-dog. And so during races, we unleash the B-dog. And then he's like super like passive the rest of the time. So yeah, I should have known the B-dog.
Okay, so if I'm on the trail and I happen to encounter a B-dog, like what is the correct like nonverbals to send it?
Yeah,
I'd be worried.
He just keeps going. Just don't make eye contact. Don't even bother saying hi. He won't say hi back. He just
I don't need a stick or anything, like or a bell.
I'll avoid you. You'll be okay.
Yep.
All right, because the B-dog sounds very rare, but all right. Man, I'm like losing track. Is it Michelle? Back to you.
Yeah, I think so. This is tough. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with like a black bear.
Grr.
I put deer leaving poop everywhere.
Oh my god.
Sorry, everyone. It's a problem.
And I thought with the Halloween costume, I was like, Michelle's gonna get that one. She'll be primed. All right, Becky.
I'm gonna say a bird, like a hawk, maybe.
Yeah, I actually said predatory bird, but then I just put bird on my paper. But I've always wanted to just fly. I mean, come on. It'd be awesome to be a bird. As long as you don't get hit by a car and stuff.
I love it. He did say predatory bird. So going into the 5th question, the Cossack duo has 15 points. Amy and Brian, Josh and Michelle both have 5 points. Question number 5. What is one thing your partner has that you would love to get rid of?
One thing.
Oh my god.
Right now. And I think, is it Michelle first this time?
But I am thinking there's like a zillion things, but I pick
Ooh.
one. Oh my god. One thing right now.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Say it.
I don't know. I can't think of it. Can I pass until the end? You can connect me.
Yeah. Becky, do you have an answer?
Maybe some of our mounts is what I would say.
Like animal mounts.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have multiple.
Any B-dogs? Are there any B-dog mounts?
No, not yet, but it's on my radar now. Yeah, for sure. I actually thought of putting that as my answer, but she doesn't really mind them much as long as they're I guess I would say tasteful. But my answer was my grumpiness.
Oh.
I'm sometimes grumpy. I'm sure she'll probably admit it. She was just trying to be nice and not say it.
Yes, I'd change my answer totally if I could eliminate that.
It was a solid like strategy to like play that game though.
Yeah.
All right. Amy.
Time's up.
I know. I don't know. He's a pretty minimalist. I guess the only thing would be like sweaty shoes that are really smelly. No? What do I want to get rid of? Oh, the tall sock. Yeah, he wears those awkwardly long socks. Not sexy.
Nah, they look really nice. You hold on to those socks.
I don't understand tall socks. Awkwardly
are they
long
like compression socks? Like, are they like neon colors?
No, they're like the ones that like cut halfway up the calf. Like, I don't understand. Yeah.
Nice.
And they say B-Dog with flames coming out of them.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it means that like from halfway down his calf, the rest of the way down, his leg is completely bald. It's rubbed all the hair off. So it's like
perfect.
Better than I could ever do shaving in that lower portion. I don't know how it's possible. It's crazy.
He also said that in his answer too, that he has no more hair on his ankle. All right, Michelle.
All right. So the one thing that I would choose to get rid of, but this is kind of probably going to defeat the purpose because they're already missing. We don't know how they went missing. But he has a pair of triathlon shorts that have worn through so badly that you can see everything. They're his prized triathlon shorts, but they went missing like a year ago. But that's what I would choose to get rid of. If I could find them, I would burn them.
Before I reveal my answer, I once found them in the trash. She had thrown them out, but I take the trash to the curb and I opened the trash and I took them out. And on multiple occasions, I have retrieved items of mine that she has thrown out.
This sounds like a new Netflix true crime documentary to me. So
I don't know if you want to give credit for this, but I put generically, my clothes, they have reached the legal drinking age. Most of what I own for apparel, she finds repulsive. So what? I'm wearing pants with elephants. Is that a problem? What? I went to Thailand and bought elephant pants for 38 cents. Anyway, my clothes.
I got pajama pants on too.
I feel like I should make Ian make the final call because I want to be like neutral here.
I'm loving this episode so far, this segment. And elephant pants, wasn't that like a theme on the trip? Like, I think Hooper said to Corey, or wanted me to ask Corey one time, like, how many elephant pants is like too many elephant pants? It just seemed like that was a theme of your trip here. But I think that's kind of a technicality. I mean, that counts as kind of a apparel. So we might as well.
And she did say they are very old.
Yeah. That is a, let's give it a half point in case or a half, 2.5, in case anybody else is in a similar situation.
All right. Okay. Well, then that means round 1 is done. Our third place couple with 7.5 points is Josh and Michelle. Josh is he's gonna pick it up in round 2. Our second place couple, B-Dog and Amy with 10 points. And then our first place couple, Eric and Becky, 15 points.
No way. Rozecki's only have 5. And I saw them look at each other too. They're in third with 5.
Only 5?
5. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because of yep.
Question. Just so we all know what the scores currently are, and the men are going to do what they're going to do. Amy and Brian, how long have you been married for?
10 years.
10. Okay, we're at 4. Kosek duo, how long have you been married?
You're funny.
17.
17. Okay. Just curious. Thank you.
On the same line, before we get started, I am deathly afraid now that it's the guy's turn. I'm officially afraid of the B-Dog.
He's going to come in.
Just so we're all on the same
I'm going to turn it on.
Yeah, we'll see. You might unleash the B-Dog.
I have to focus.
We'll see. Yeah.
I had wine, so it's not.
It's good. It's fueling.
All right. The points are fixed. We're going into round 2. Again, I think these questions, some of these are pretty hard. But we're going to start out with an easy one. I expect all the men to guess this.
Oh, God.
What is your partner's dream run destination or location?
I forget what it's called.
I think I'll start with our leaders. I'll start with Eric and Becky.
I forget what the name of it is, but it's some staged race that she can't go to because she's a teacher and she can't get the time off. Is that right? Yeah, that one.
Yes.
He's right. That is the one.
Which sounds like a really awesome race. Like, I hadn't heard of this. Tell us about this.
Yeah, it's a 7-day race from through Germany and Austria and Switzerland. It's through the Alps, and you run 50K a day. And I really want to do it in September. It's in September, and I would need to take 3 weeks off. And until I don't think it'll ever happen for me unless I quit my job.
What do you teach, Becky?
4th grade.
Okay. I have a PhD in psychology, and I spend a lot of time running in the mountains. Can I sub for you?
So I would love that. Yes, totally.
I can teach some 4th graders some really bad habits in the time that it'll take you to do this race. We'll plan it.
Okay, I'm all for it.
All right. Next, we'll go to Josh. Where is Michelle's dream run destination location?
Oh, man. So I feel bad if I'm selling it short. I mean, she really just wants to run in Colorado. Yes, there are other events, but Colorado is a place she'd love to train and wanted to live, but I denied her that. So I'm going with Colorado.
Oh, that's a blank sheet of paper.
And I'm not.
Ooh.
Womp womp.
Michelle, why didn't Josh know this answer?
I think that he did know the answer, but I think he was thinking more generally that I prod him every day about living in a place with mountains. So I don't talk about New Zealand every day, but I probably talk about Colorado or Flagstaff once a day. So.
This isn't looking good for victory.
All right, Brian.
I'll say the Alps.
Yeah.
The Alps with Colorado as a second.
I dig it. All right, question 2. I still think this is a low ball one. When it comes to running, is your partner a pessimist, optimist, or a realist? So I think now it's Michelle's turn first.
You mean Josh? Well, about Michelle.
Oh, yeah, Josh, sorry.
Oh, God.
Is Michelle a realist, pessimist, or optimist?
I would say she's a realist. I mean, she's...
Yay.
Yes! Okay.
Sorry, I pulled that out a little fast, but...
All right, Brian?
I'll say optimist.
Yay!
A pinch of realist in there. But yeah, optimist.
All right, and then Eric.
Well, I'm going to say a pessimist because she needs to believe in herself more. If she believed in herself, she'd be unstoppable, which she's close to that point already. Ah, boo.
But if you're going to get it wrong, that was the best way to get it wrong.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
No, I was thinking more in general about everybody. I'm always very optimist, but he is right. About myself, a lot of the times I struggle a little bit more.
Awesome. All right. Question 3. Your partner is at a race and she runs frantically into the aid station. And as she's running frantically, she yells to you, "Quick, it's an emergency. I need blank." What does she need? I think, is it Brian? Or yeah, Eric.
I'm going to go with the simple one, lube.
Lube.
It's the only thing I've ever really actually had any issues with where I'd actually come in and need it. So That's the only thing I can think of too.
So fun fact, that was a rejected question. What is the oddest body part that your partner lubes before a run? All right, are you to Amy now?
I'll say, that was me.
What does Amy need?
Oh, no.
No?
I said Coca-Cola and grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe a beer. It depends. I know. You got
all right, Josh. What does Michelle need?
So I'm thinking it's either like spring gel or scratch, but I need to pick one. Or can I just say nutrition? I'm gonna go with spring gel, like a goop, like a nutrition packet or something.
You were so close.
Oh!
Wrong one.
First always is more
Man.
of emergency than hunger.
So close.
All right, so I'm doing a quick tally.
You should have made one that said spring gel. You could have. Oh, just kidding.
All right, again, I'm a trail runner, not a mathematician, so call me out if my scores are not right. Right now, I've got Eric and Becky with 25. I've got Brian and Amy with 15. And I've got Josh and Michelle with 12 and a half.
Yeah, Ian's giving out points randomly anyway, so who cares?
It doesn't really matter what your scores are. We'll give whoever that we want to win.
All right, 2 more questions. So 10 more points on the board. Number 4. In her eyes, what is your partner's greatest running accomplishment so far? It does not have to be a race result, but it could be anything running related. What is your partner's greatest running accomplishment so far?
Whose turn?
Am I starting with Josh now?
Sure. So wait, it's how does she view herself? Is that the question?
Yeah. What would Michelle say is her greatest running accomplishment?
Okay. I mean, I'd like to think making worlds has got to be it. It could be her escarpment this year, but I'm going to go with winning breakneck and making the world championships.
Yay!
Okay.
It was not Josh dancing at the Worlds.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Becky. Sorry, Eric is answering for Becky.
I hate to bring up the whole axe issue again, but from the smile on her face when she finished that race, I would say her most proudest accomplishment was winning the World's End 100K.
World's End. All right, and Brian.
Grindstone 100.
Yeah, that was winning Grindstone.
All right, good. Well, okay, we got it. Everybody got 5 points. That's an easy one for me. All right, our last one, because it's the Newlyweds Game, and I couldn't let like a good Bob Eubanks euphemism not make its way into this segment. So the 5th question, you're both on a run together and the mood strikes. How do you guys let your wives know it's time to cut the run short, get home and make some whoopee?
Whose turn is it?
It's Brian's, right? Is it Brian's or Eric's?
I'll go.
I'm blushing.
I just say it's time.
Brian just says it. He has no subtlety. That was my answer. I did say we may just find a place in the woods or in the car. Also, we wouldn't wait till we got home. P.S. Good job, Dave.
Okay. There we go.
Thank you for not saying it's time here on the live stream. All right. I think Eric.
Oh boy. Well, it's funny that this is a good question, but we always talk about while we're running together that trail running doesn't really set the mood for us. And I don't know if any other couples feel that way, or maybe we're the odd ones out. But
you don't think your partner covered in sweat and just
wait.
isn't the sexiest thing ever?
Yeah, I have 2 daughters sitting right next to me right now, so I'm treading lightly.
I'll just leave this here for our case to back up what Eric's saying. My husband pooping like a deer in the woods and constantly needing a bathroom is not exactly a turn on trail runs.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
But yes, there's nothing sexier than dirty calves. So I want to put that out there. So that I guess the dirtier we get, I don't know how to finish this. We'll take the 5-point loss on this one.
Becky, what was your answer though?
Yep.
Yeah, he likes to point out where good spots would be, and
I like to pretend I'm a photographer. How's that?
I love it. All right, Josh.
Okay, first I want to call our parents and find out if they're watching. No, so I'll just say I think that I would get very close to her and like kind of start pushing my body against hers and like
a deer,
making it clear that it would be a nice time to stop running.
That's really weird.
Even weirder because my kids are home watching too, but that's all right. Keep going.
So that's not exactly what I said you would do. I more said what you would say, which is cupcake, which is what he calls me. I have a problem, which isn't too far off from what he would be doing while he said that.
I'm sweating.
I feel like I have a problem could also come before him pooping in the woods more though. So
both can strike at the same time.
They're both.
Yeah, how do you separate between the pooping and the making?
Sometimes I really can't tell what the sensation is.
Okay.
All right, couples. I think we have a very clear winner with 30 points overall. It is the Cossack duo.
That was good.
What a clapping.
Well done. Well done.
Do they get a prize, Ian?
Yeah, I don't know what it is yet, but we'll come up with something. But yeah, I think we were going to do I think what I said in the email was maybe like a gift card to something in your neck of the woods. So yeah,
I can tell you they don't need any more axes, but there are some triathlon shorts that I think if the Merlises can find them, that might make a great gift.
That would be solid. If you could just put them in an airtight jar so that we preserve the scent and so they don't break down further, we could send them in instead of, all right, we'll bridge the concept with the mounts. Becky could do with a little less mounts in there, but maybe if we put your tri-shorts in a container, we write Big Dog on the outside with a Sharpie, and then we mount it on a piece of wood for your walls. I think that would be good.
B-Dog, not Big Dog. B-Dog.
B-Dog. Right. That's good. All right. Well, it'll all start with Merlises when they come up with those shorts. So if we maybe get a scent detecting dog in there if the cat doesn't do it, and we'll see if we can track those gems down. Well, well done. I don't know if those watching, you enjoyed that segment, or maybe those who will listen later, but I had a lot of fun watching you guys all go through that. Travis,
hey, Ian, can I say something real quick? Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to say we're honored to be in the presence of these other amazing runners on here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I found it interesting. The order of finish was the length of marriage. So clearly they know each other better. We don't have as much time under our belts.
I honestly had no faith in winning this thing whatsoever. And I think she would say the same thing. So how that happened is amazing to me, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that was fun to watch too. And a couple of those where you as couples were really synced. It came out kind of in the answers and the expressions, and that was fun. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to all you. And Angela, thanks for running this session, and thanks for checking in. And it'll be great to connect with all of you. I think I'll hopefully be able to see all of you at the races this year. Kozak, I still want to get our families together here in case I don't see you at the races, but it'll be good to see the rest of you out there. So I hope it's a good year ahead.
Thanks,
all right.
Ian.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. See y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Great job.
All right. We are going to move into Trail Runner Jeopardy. If I can figure out how to get this screen share gig to work. So I am going to bring in our 3 guests for the Trail Running Jeopardy session. And I am going to introduce all of you and then see if I can figure out how to do the screen share more effectively this time and weave it in. So joining us for the Trail Running Jeopardy, which I'm also hopefully stoked for, Caleb Bowen, coming to us from Hurricane. No, I'm going to keep saying Hurricane just because that's how I roll. We'll go with it. But all right, Hurricane, West Virginia. Caleb's an assistant cross-country and track coach for his alma mater, Marshall University. He's been grateful enough to be a frequent guest of the Trails Collective, dating back to some of the first weekly rundowns. Of his 6 2022 ultrasign recorded finishes, 5 were wins, and the 6th was pretty incredible run with second place finish. He has the distinction of having run the fastest 100-mile time in the nation this year. Travis Lunkar. Travis coming to us from Baltimore, Maryland. He was a glutton in seeking out a punishing 2022, including the Mount Tammany 10, Cruel Jewel, and Grindstone. Questionable decision-making reflected in him currently being registered for the Jigger Johnson 100, New Hampshire. For those not on your radar so far, that is going to be an absolute beast of a race. So we'll see if his Jeopardy skills are any better than his decision-making in choosing races. And then Quana Diapetrus. Sorry, if I bludgeon races in the or names in the moment. It's where my head's at. Quana's coming to us from Vestal, New York. She's had a solid year, which included Cayuga Trails, Whiteface, and Virgil Crest, and sent, if I'm remembering correctly, over 300,000 feet of elevation gain this year. Is that where you came out? Yeah, dude, that's a good year. Well done. So it is good to have you all. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to weave in the share screen, because I think this will be kind of crux to this whole thing working. All right, so let's go. So patience with me all. Let's go. All right, so, all right, I think this is going to work. All right.
I have a question.
Question, yes.
So, in the spirit of Jeopardy, do we need to respond in the form of a question?
Ideally, but I'm not going to say you didn't get the answer right if it's not in the form of a question. But yeah, try to phrase it in that sense or in that regard. So for all of those listening or watching out there, one of the things that StreamYard, this platform, doesn't have, similar to Zoom, is like click a button to like raise your hand or something like that. So I just mentioned to the guests prior that I'm not quite sure how to grab the first person to like weigh in or wants this question. So maybe in the most simplistic form, we can make it be like a free for all. So and as Jeopardy goes, if you don't end up having the answer to the question within 5 seconds, you lose the points, or if you get it wrong, you lose the points. So it doesn't necessarily benefit you to jump in if you really don't know if you know the answer. So hopefully that kind of curtails just jumping in willy-nilly. But let's have it go. So if you feel like you got the question, just say your own name, because I might be looking at the question and not at the screen, so I won't see a hand go up or something like that. So just like holler out Quana, Caleb, Travis, and we'll just see if that works. And what we're going to do is I adjusted the question values versus Jeopardy. I lowered them a bit. So for those watching, for the winning individual, the amount of their winning score, they can choose a trail related entity, and we'll make a donation in that amount to that entity. And if I kept it all the same, I'd be potentially broke in a hurry. So I adjusted the values a bit just in case one of these is just like that Jeopardy shark that just like runs the entire game and like gets all of them. And so these are in Caleb and I were texting a little bit before the episode or a couple times, and Caleb just said he doesn't know if he's going to be set or how he'll do on like this trivia stuff. And I said he's probably going to get at least one of these, I would hope. There is an easy one in this mix for you, Caleb. We'll see if you find it.
Hope so.
Maybe. Yeah. And I don't know, like for me, I feel like these were questions that I know the answers to all of them, but I mentioned to Caleb, like I'm completely detached. I'm kind of like living in this bubble of seeing like results and having a store with footwear and all this stuff. So what seems like I just know it, maybe people may be like, yeah, like nobody knows the answer to this. And then, but if this works, so Travis came up with the free trail fantasy stuff early, which then took with free trail, or I don't quite know how that panned out. But if this works, maybe Travis, maybe we just develop some sort of trail running Jeopardy that we just put out to the formalize it. And then we get these like random, like just people that are just trail running kind of geeks and just like they know like all the data or whatever. And that would be fun. So let's just see.
Love it.
Works. All right. Quana, just for the sake of just being this, I don't know, attritional, let's just start. I'm going to give you the first run of the board. So they're the 4 categories: BeastCoast Footwear, BeastCoast Races, BeastCoast Nutrition, BeastCoast Performances. So you can choose your category and point value. And if it works on the screen like I hope it should, you'll see the, I guess, however you phrase it, the question versus the answer or whatever, and just see what you guys think. So, Quana, you're up.
Okay, I'll take BeastCoast Footwear for 75.
All right. 3 of the largest running shoe companies have BeastCoast roots. Which has the earliest founding, and bonus, which state and namesake?
Caleb?
Yeah.
Is it New Balance and in Massachusetts?
Good effort, but that is not the answer. But that was a good guess though. Quana, Travis, you want to try?
The companies out west.
All right, so no guess? All right. Saucony, founded in 1898 in Kutztown, PA, and after the Saucony Creek.
That's cool.
Yeah, being even in the business for a while, I didn't even know Saucony's roots were that deep. I probably would have also guessed New Balance in Boston. So, all right. All right. Let's go with Quana, you still have it.
Oh, okay. How about BeastCoast Nutrition for 50.
Okay, and I just thought in the moment before we reveal it, if there's anybody tuning in live out there, and I'm not sure whether it'll come through on either Facebook or YouTube, if our run of the 3 here doesn't get the answer, and this is the honor system out here, don't go Googling it out there, but if you think you got the answer, go ahead and plug it into the chat, and maybe we'll add it to a score there at the end. But again, no cheating on the back end since we can't watch you. All right, so say it again. You said BeastCoast Nutrition, Quana?
Yeah, for 50.
50. All right. Excluding water, this, possibly the most common drink universally found at ultra aid stations, is BeastCoast, founded in Atlanta. As a bonus, what was the founding year within a 20-year range?
Travis.
All right, what you got?
I'll go Tailwind.
Tailwind is not the answer. Good effort, though. Good effort. Way to put it out there. Most common drink universally found at ultra aid stations, besides water.
All right, I'll go for it. Kiwana.
Yep.
Coke.
Got it.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Coca-Cola, founded in 1892 in Atlanta, is Beast Coast. And I still don't know why. Maybe they just don't need it. But to this day, I don't know why Coca-Cola doesn't just get in on the official like event space. I mean, those RDs, man, we're buying so much of the product. Give us some sort of like event tweak or something like that, and the stuff would be even more universal. So Travis, good guess. And Kiwana, way to take it. So Kiwana, you still have control of the board.
All right, how about let's do Beast Coast Nutrition again for 75.
This Beast Coast Beer Company was founded in Connecticut in 2017 and has rapidly spread nationwide at trail races. Beast Coast Beer Company, founded in Connecticut in 2017.
Caleb, is it Athletic Brewing Company?
You got it.
Sweet.
Well done, sir.
Back to 0.
Woo. An athletic beer. All right. Caleb, you got the board.
Let's do Beast Coast Nutrition for 25.
Name one of the 2 aid station foods most often over-purchased by me and thus remaining post-race. I don't know, and I don't fault you for such a subjective thing, but if you want to try for
Caleb,
it.
Is it bananas?
Bananas, you got it, buddy. Bananas and pretzels, man. I've got, and it's not all bad because I get to take it home and freeze it and make smoothies out of it. But I don't know, and I'm getting better. But
and banana bread too.
I have banana bread too. If my wife's watching out there, Sherry would be the one that always has to turn them into something like banana bread. So I appreciate that over the years. All right, Caleb, you got the board still.
Let's see. Let's do Beast Coast Performances 25. Oh, Caleb.
Got it.
What is my Canal Corridor 100-mile race finish time?
Nailed it. What was Caleb Bowen's finish time? Canal Corridor 100 fastest 100-mile time of the year. Well done, man. That was, again, an incredible effort. All right, you still got the board.
Let's do Beast Coast Performances 50.
This Beast Coaster punched a Western States Golden Ticket for their incredible performance at Hobbleina 100.
Kiwana. Oh.
Who said that
first? You was first.
Who is Riley Brady?
Got it. Well done. All right. Let's go. Travis, you got the board.
Yeah, let's keep it going with 75 for performances.
6:05:41.
Travis.
Got it.
What is Sarah Beal's finishing time at JFK this year?
Nailed it. Incredible performance. All right. Travis, you got the board.
Let's go to 100.
The states with the greatest and lowest number of trail races per capita in the Northeast. And you can give me just one of those too. And you can chew on it for a minute. So states with the greatest and lowest number of trail races per capita in the Northeast.
Travis.
All right, try it.
Oh, yeah. What is Delaware?
Good guess. Good guess. That is not the answer. Does somebody else want to weigh in or try it? It's okay if you don't. This is a tough one, especially if you got to sit here on the spot thinking of numbers and geography. So, Travis, good job guessing. Kiwana or Caleb, do you want to try for it?
Nope.
Okay. Kiwana?
Nah, I would be guessing, but I don't want to guess.
Yep. What is Vermont for the greatest and Massachusetts for the lowest? So when I was putting together a lot of the back end data for the Trails Collective to try to get the site rolling, I basically did a master race calendar, and then I tallied the number of trail races as of 2 years ago for each state, ran it per capita, and that's how I kind of came up with my numbers. And I also have them for geography and acreage as well, which was kind of a fun little side. All right, Travis, you still got control of the board.
Yeah, let's do 125.
533,635 feet. And actually, I think that should be 500,635 feet now that I'm thinking about it.
Do I have to know the name?
No, I won't hold you to the name.
Travis.
Yeah.
What is the BeastCoaster, his total elevation gain for the year 2022? Or for a month in
you got it. There it is. Got it.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, and I have it on another screen, but that's correct. I forget his name off the top of my head as well. Might have been Brandon something, coming out of North Carolina, established a new world record for number of feet in elevation gain in 1 month. Truly mind-boggling effort. All right, Travis, still your board.
Let's go races for 25.
This event is the first Beast Coast Classic to be acquired by UTMB. Caleb.
Grindstone.
Got it. And so that was interesting. I guess we could take a whole tangent into how we all feel about that. But in any case, correct answer. So, Caleb, you got the board.
Let's keep it going. Beast Coast races for 50.
This Beast Coast course has the most vertical gain per mile than any in the East and possibly the country.
Corner.
What you got?
Breakneck.
Ooh, good effort, but nope.
Travis.
What you got?
Whiteface.
You got it.
Of course.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I should know.
That's all right. Yeah, that's right. You know it by experience. Your legs are still singing it, but well done. All right, Travis, you got the board.
Let's go 75.
This is the oldest sub-ultra trail race in the Northeast and one of the oldest in the nation.
Caleb.
What you got?
Is it the Mount Washington race?
Ooh, that's a good. I was thinking trail race. Mount Washington is not. It's a road race.
Okay.
If you're thinking of Mount Washington hill climb.
Yeah, that's the one. But
okay,
if it's trail, then never mind.
Juana, Travis, nothing.
That would be a guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Correct answer. What is the escarpment trail run? I think it's JFK is the oldest, but being an ultra distance, so escarpment was the next in line behind it. All right. So I think it's Caleb. You have the board, I think, still.
Yeah, we'll keep it going with the races.
Okay. With over 1,100 finishers, this is the largest trail race in the Northeast and one of the largest in the nation.
Travis. JFK.
Good, good guess. That was close, but not. But excellent guess. It was up there. I think it was like they were in the 9s or just over 1,000 or something like that.
Okay.
And this one, dude, there's not many people out there that would probably get this answer right, so I don't even know if it's fair. So Caleb and Kuana, you could guess it, but unless you're following Trails Collective episodes like every week, you might not get it. All right, so Leatherman's Loop. Race in New York, which hasn't really been on my radar really until I started Trails Collective stuff. And it's, I forget, it's like a 10K, I think. Starts in this grassy field, but like over 1,100 finishers. It's just nuts. All right, Caleb, still your board.
Yeah, we'll just finish off Beast Coast races for 125.
This course is the furthest east of any trail event in the nation. Try to think about, and you may not, this is no, I guess this is in my little bubble where it's like, oh yeah, but nobody, it's a small race, but think about furthest kick out in terms of land mass in the US. And then if there's any that come to mind, and it may not, again, fair if it's like, dude, nobody knows this, but in case. All right, no guesses?
Yeah.
All right, it's fair response. What is the Bold Coast Bash? Up in Cutler, Maine. This is one that was able to do, it's an absolutely Beautiful, beautiful course. But it basically sits right on the Bay of Fundy, right near the Nova Scotia border. I think it is, if I'm thinking of that right. And it's, furthest east. So a little bit of trivia there. All right. Caleb, still your board.
Let's do Beast Coast footwear for 25.
The #1 trail shoe worn in trail ultras as measured by me at the World's End 100K in 2020.
Quana.
What you got?
Hoka.
And can you what
model? What is Hoka? Speed Goat.
What is the Hoka Speed Goat? Got it. And I forget what my count was, but it was remarkable. It was like 65% of like all people were wearing the Hoka Speed Goat in that race. It was pretty wild. All right, Kwana, your board.
Beast Coast footwear for 50.
The brand of trail shoe with the stickiest outsole rubber currently on the market, as measured also by me in a Trails Collective ranking of outsole stickiness.
I'll give it a shot, Travis. Innovate.
Good effort. That came up. It was pretty close to number 2 or 3 when I ranked it. The most durable, but wicked sticky. So that's actually a good guess. Caleb or Kawana? No? So, VJ. I think their slogan is, actually, I got the box is right next to me here, the best grip on the planet. And truly is. The stuff is pretty remarkable. And so in that test, I took I think 12 of the top compounds, and I took them head to head in a fairly slick stream bed, and just whittled it down and got the VJ on top. So, all right. Whose board is it at this point? Kwana, is it yours?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I'll take Beast Coast footwear for 100.
The only trail shoe to be named after a Beast Coast region. All right, I'm going to give you a... I'll give you the visual. Give me the name.
Oh, Kwana.
All right, what you got?
Well, I probably jumped too soon. I just got the brand, Saucony. But
Yeah,
we went through that already. Yeah, okay. What is the Saucony Peregrine?
Good effort, but no, and I got crap from my rep for about 10 years because pretty much shops only sell the Peregrine, and I've just never been a big fan of Peregrine. And I was like the only running store in the country that wasn't stocking the Peregrine. But this one I really liked, and the predecessors before it, because it had a pretty unique last. Either if you want to stab at it.
Nope.
All right, fair enough. So in this case, it is the Saucony Mad River, conceptually after the Mad River Valley up in Vermont. Great shoe, 4mm offset, boxier toe. It was a pretty cool shoe.
That's like your favorite shoe of all time, isn't it, Ian?
It's up there. The Mad River one, probably. Man, I got a lot of favorites behind me here of all time for like different reasons. We'll have to do a different episode on that one. All right, Juana, still your board, I think.
Okay, I'll have Beast Coast footwear for 125.
The only trail shoe to ever have been named after a Beast Coast trail race. And this is going to show my age. I think I had a couple pair, but this is going back. All right, I'll give you a hint. Montrail was the brand.
Right. Oh.
And in a year where they did a phenomenal job of capturing one of the first real ultra contingents and had the team, they had several shoes out there, which they named after historic trail ultras. One was the Continental Divide. One was the Hard Rock. And then the Beast Coast shout out was this one.
I'll take a guess.
Attaboy.
Mountain Masochist.
Attaboy. Mountain Masochist it is. Well
Ooh.
done, sir. What is the Montreal Mount Masochist? All right. Travis, you got the board.
Let's go nutrition for 100.
Although Midwest-based at present, this nutrition company was born in the founders' miles at Hellgate, Old Dominion, and Grindstone. So what you got?
What is long haul?
You got it. And so when I was putting this together, I didn't realize that he had just changed the name of it.
Oh, did he really?
Message back and forth a bit of, yeah, you got a trademark dispute. Just some unrelated, it was just like brand that was selling in convenience stores like long haul truckers. And it was like, I don't know, some whatever. So he decided to just not even go through it. And so he's just changing it. I don't know if I'll pronounce it right, but it's Hiley or Hiley or something like that. But you're correct. Long haul founded by Chris Roberts. All right. Well done, sir. All right.
Last one. Yeah.
All right. This BeastCoast natural energy gel was found in 2012 in Tennessee. Natural energy gel is kind of their calling card. Because there's a few out there at the time. This one I feel like pioneered the space where some of it was more synthetics at the time, and this one was out of the gate with a natural kind of swing.
Koana.
What you got?
I'm probably going to regret this. What is spring energy? Nah, Huma, yeah.
What is Huma? So spring, right, is out of the gate now with the natural take as well. But the spring was the first one to have natural ingredients, and it was based also on his experience with another Beast Coast classic, the Born to Run, with Chris also being a PA guy, and so they kind of got on the chia seed kick. So man, all right, so maybe I spoke to my little bubble of knowledge here, and maybe we need some music to go with the countdown timer or whatever. I'm stoked that you guys were all guinea pigs and we're just like, good, let's just go after it. So Travis with the inaugural Trail Runner Jeopardy win at 125, and maybe I'll just make some donations anyway. So for each of you guys, maybe just give me your some sort of trail running related or trail related. It doesn't have to be running related. Destination. Maybe we'll just make a contribution of like $250 to like each one. So awesome. You can tell me off key, and we'll just get a card and send it to them for post race. So
awesome. Thank you.
That was awesome.
So
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what do you think? Think it would have worked, Travis, in terms of modeling? Could we get some? I'm sure some. I don't know.
Yeah.
Were they just seem like possible questions, or do you think, oh, I should have known that type of thing?
No, that was good. I thought it was like a good selection of East Coast related questions. Yeah. It inspires me to brush up maybe for next year.
Good. I don't know if I can come up with a whole nother question set for next year that aren't like the same questions or whatever. We're keeping it Beast Coast, but right on. Well, I appreciate you guys giving some of your time up for New Year's Eve here. Travis has supported all of you supporting the Trails Collective all year. All of you have, and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to everybody's years next year. What do you guys all got? What's a target A experience or race for 2023 for each of you? Travis, what you planning?
Yeah, I'm excited to I'm planning to come to Cayuga in June. And then I'm going to try to double back the next weekend. I think it is to do Laurel Highlands again to 70.
Oh, right on.
Nice.
So, yeah, excited for that.
Sweet. That'll be a good double.
Yeah.
Koana, what's a experience or race?
Well, I'll also be at Cayuga. I think I'll go back to Virgil Heiner for the first time, but I need to go back to Twisted Branch and fix that DNF.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them, but certainly that one, I feel like I've got unfinished business. So
yeah. Caleb?
Yeah. So right now, just Bandera's on the list, next weekend, and then Gorge Waterfalls for the spring, And then after that, I have no clue. I'm trying to figure all of it out right now. But I definitely want to get one, maybe 200s in either the summer or fall. I've signed up for the lottery for Leadville. So if I get in, that'd be cool. But if not, I might do Canal Corridor again, or maybe Tunnel Hill if it works out in the schedule. We'll see. I don't know. But definitely want to try to mix it up. And then I think the Ragged 75, the 50K. I've never been to New Hampshire before, so I've always wanted to go up there, and I think that'd be really fun. Usually I need to have a race in order to travel, so that'll be a good excuse to go up to New Hampshire. So,
dude, it seems crazy that Bandera is just next weekend. Like in my head, it's still like a month off or whatever.
I wish it was.
Wow, it's right here. That's exciting. Who else is in the mix for running for a ticket?
Oh, there's a ton of people. I mean, there's like 20 guys that are going for it, and probably about 20 women as well. It'll just be a fun experience. I'm just excited to be a part of it, and hopefully have fun, stay relaxed, and just see what I can do.
Oh, dude, all right. Well, now I'm excited for next weekend in terms of trying to be on some sort of like live tracking feed or whatever.
Yeah, Eric Vipa's got it, so it's going to be live streamed somewhat.
Yeah. Dude, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Last year we had the boots on the ground. I was getting the text updates. Now I'll tune into the official live stream. Awesome. Well, I'm assuming you're all set, but for sure, let me know in a direct message or text or whatever if there's anything I can get your way or.
Yeah, sure. I'll be wearing the Trails Collective jersey, so I'm excited.
Sweet. Thanks, dude. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your nights tonight, and it was great to have you. And thanks for being the guinea pigs for round 1 of Jeopardy here.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So, thanks for being on the back end there, Meisner. I like the thick Vermont wears going with that beard. Brian,
hey buddy,
fella. What you got going on the game night there? What's rolling?
I wasn't too far off. All right, if you guys want to put this on, you can. You can find it.
And I can heckle you.
Yeah, and they want that. They want that. All right,
dude. Now all we need is that slacker Swanson to log in here. Let me see if I can get him on the horn. So. Come on now. Let me introduce you guys, and then we'll just have to get to bantering in case he can't make it. All right. So for those of you who are tuning in for the guests that hopefully will be the segment on target, we have. We'll start with Sean, and we'll see if we'll introduce Trent if he's able to log on. Sean Meisner is a true legend. That's right. I said it. Not just in his own head. While it seems many migrate east to west, I'm grateful that Meisner's an exception, moving from Colorado to a new home in Vermont in 2022, with 222 ultra sign up tallied finishes. He's been around a bit.
203 ultras though.
Yeah, well, we'll give you the sub ultra
because we know that not every race on ultra sign up is an ultra, and not every ultra is on ultra sign up.
That's fair. But we'll
as RDs, we especially know that, all of us.
So that's all to say that white in his beard is a pretty accurate descriptor of the dude's been around a bit. He's maybe best known for exceptional performances, not at Western States or UTMB, although he did race those.
I completed those.
Yeah, but Uncle Clyde's Run and Slide was probably his most notable. And he's directed one of the finest trail races in the country. I'll say it there as well, since 2003. And you created it, right? It was kind of your baby. And if
not kind of, it is my baby.
Is your baby.
It still is my baby.
Yep.
This will be the 21st this year.
That's good. And your baby's pretty healthy.
Yeah, your wife ran it a couple times. You ran it 0 times.
I know. That's why she's tougher than I am.
I know she is.
Yep. And that's the Peterson Ridge Rumble in Sisters, Oregon. And that's donated or raised a ton of money for the cross country program over the years.
Yeah, it would have bought half my house where I live now.
which it's maybe healthier to not think of it in those terms, but that's a whole lot of support over the years to the community. So truly incredible. And it's also had some of the fastest people in the country as it's gone towing the line at that race as well. And it's truly, truly beautiful course, even though I haven't run it. I have run the course, but it's beautiful. All right. And he needs also a coach through Charmin Ultra. So we got a couple coaches in the mix here as well. Brian Vanderheiden. Brian's coming to us from Bethel, Connecticut. He directs a number of great races under his race hat, steep endurance, including Macedonia, one I have done. I mean, I probably weighed that over, one, back in Oregon, which we just talked about. I did go out and do Macedonia. It was pretty beautiful. A number of events with that in the mix. Beautiful, flowy East Coast gems in that regard. He's also wanted to jump into some Beast Coast events, including Trap Rock, the Breakneck Double, and also Run Ragged in 2022. Steven Estremera. He is coming to us from High Bridge, New Jersey. Is that right? Is that where you're at, Steven? Yeah. He has a number of fitness. So Jersey, I mean, we talk about in terms of Beast Coast, I mean, kind of the pit coast or whatever. There you are in Jersey. So you're truly kind of representing and holding it down there in the middle section. So he has a number of fitness hats, from fitness program coordinator and coaching to an event company, Conquer the World Endurance, where he directs a number of events, including the Red Wing Challenge, and in 2023, one that you're working on, right? I think called Mining the Vert. Is that coming? Yep.
Yeah, it's 2 hour, 4 hour vert loop challenge.
That's good. So all good stuff. My phone just restarted, haven't texted Trent. So we're just going to roll into with trying to stump the RDs. I'm just going to try to pull some things off the top of my hat because I don't have the backup questions without him here. So let's go with, so let's just say you're an RD. And you get let's just say it's an email question from one of your registered entrants who happens to live around, let's just say 4 hours away from your race. And let's just say your start time is at 6 a.m. And entrant says that is too far of a drive, that he'd have to leave his home at about 2 a.m. to make it, and that's a lot. And he's wondering if I'd be willing, or you'd be willing rather, to just push the start back to 8 o'clock. What would be the correct answer?
No.
Yeah, simply no.
That's a pretty simple question. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there.
All right, Steven, your official.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I have an example of a woman who drives 4 hours to all of our races, and she doesn't matter what time it starts.
She is Beast Coast. I need to put her in an email contact with this individual. And despite all of the back and forths, he didn't actually show up for race day. Anyway.
So this was one of your people from one of your races.
It was yeah. I've actually gotten
for Breakneck.
I've gotten the request a couple times actually.
And did you ask them if they would contact everyone else who signed up?
I did not. I can't remember. I tried to be pretty pleasant.
How did you not do that, Ian? You of all people.
Yeah, I could have just put it out. I could have just put it in the. I could have just CC'd all the other entrants on that and just see where that went. All right. All right. Question number 2. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, so most of your, I think, events, Sean, do you have drop bags for yours?
Yeah. For the 40, not the 20, but the 40. Yeah.
And then Steven, for some of your timed ones, also some drop bags hanging out.
Yeah, I mean they're all loop races, so we have like a couple of folding tables set up where they could leave their bags, kind of pretty laid back, I guess. Our events.
All right. So let's say with the drop bags that are left over, hypothetically speaking, for me, I tend to sift through the drop bags, get rid of the edibles that are just going bad, that are long ripe. When you get to that drop bag a couple weeks after the race, I always want to do the drop bag challenge, and I tried to insert it one of the races last year. But let's just say you're sifting through, the drop bags in order to get rid of the stuff that's heavy that you can mail back. And there's often a pair left in those bags. And let's just say you find a pretty good condition pair of hypothetically speaking, running underwear. Do you keep those running underwear because maybe you could use a pair, or it's more like either that's not right, we're going to send them back, or that's disgusting, that needs to go in the garbage?
We just raffle them off at the next race.
Raffle them off the next race. That's an idea. All right.
That is a good idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I'm not touching someone else's underwear.
Throw it away. And Steve, what you got?
I would throw it away probably.
If they were clean and the person and they were good, if someone spent like $50 on them and they paid me to send them back, I would do that. But if they were just old and crappy, I'd just throw them away.
All right. So the correct answer is that it's a clean pair of underwear, that they didn't use them in the race. The correct answer is that actually you keep them. And because you could use actually a new pair, hypothetically speaking, that would be the correct.
Are you wearing underwear right now, Ian?
I am. These are underwear that I actually got from the store, but I may or may not have a pair of running underwear in my drawer from a drop bag. May or may not.
Do you need us to send you some?
No, I'm good, actually, because I put on more races, I get more drop bags, and usually people, leave stuff behind.
That's one I have never come across a pair of underwear and drop bags in 20 years of race directing.
Well, maybe that's Beast Coast, I guess.
Because the West Coast, it's not humid, so people don't have to wear underwear.
That's fair.
There's not as much chafing going on.
And this takes us back in terms of, Sean, you making the original case for underwear 25 years or so ago, whenever we met in Oregon, where in the shop, you made the case for running underwear. And I think I maybe, teased you a little bit, but, here I am. Now I'm like the fiend drug addict where I'm just, I may or may not be, pulling
in the winter, Peter heaters are a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Let's go to top of my head, Stump the RD's question number 3. Let's go with Damn it, I'm failing in the moment. Swanson, where are you, buddy? Where are you?
Yeah, what happened to him?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You need to email him. I think
I just texted him.
Okay.
So we're all right. So let's go with hypothetically speaking. Now let's not go on a hypothetical here. Let's go with the watermelon on the course. This is a nod to Eric Egan, who's done the episode the past 2 years. Let's go with watermelon, bananas, or pretzels. What is the most and leftover item that you over purchased for a race consistently each year?
Definitely watermelon.
Pretzels.
I'd say bananas. We usually get them donated, but we get like a crate of them. We stuck with like 50 bananas.
Actually, goo. I way over purchase goo. Hardly anyone takes my goo.
Oh yeah, ding 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 ding.
Oh yeah, well actually it's bananas. We're gonna go with bananas because that's what I'm left over with, that I continually over purchase each year despite my best efforts. We're gonna go with bananas. And Trent, if you're watching, buddy, you need to log into the StreamYard link that we sent you on Gmail. Come on now, this is not your first rodeo. Check your email address and click on that link and join us, buddy.
I just sent him a message, so I'm sure he'll see that before yours.
He just got the text message saying he's here, and actually he's not here. Come on, Trent. Click on that little email in your Gmail box. That's that little thing that says an email from.
Yeah, maybe
he doesn't know. Supposed to start at 9 o'clock though.
For me.
Yeah, but we were supposed to log in at 8:45.
Yeah. So you guys were all on it. You didn't lose it. All right. So since he's here, and actually he's going to log on here in a second. Let's just talk about, because we probably close off with it. So let's just I'm going to kill a little bit of time here and give him a few minutes to lead into. So for 2023, let's say on the participation front, what are you guys most looking forward to today?
from upstairs. Yeah.
Let's go, Sean. 2023. What are you looking forward to in terms of events or experiences?
Oh, like as far as me doing them?
Yeah, participating in.
Oh, okay. Well, I have some unfinished business at Laurel. I signed up for the full thing a few years ago, the 70 miler. I just did the 50K, so I'm going back this year to do the full, and then hopefully I'll get in through the lottery to Vermont. That's about a month after Laurel, so that'd be a nice little. That's only like 15 minutes away from my house, so it's
nice.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Brian, what you got on deck in participation?
I was supposed to run Manitous last year, but after doing breakneck and run ragged, it just I was spent. So I think I'm going to try to go back and do Manitous this year or next year. I had 2 torn meniscuses last year, or tear meniscus, so I had 2 arthroscopic surgeries in each of my knees. So hopefully no more knee injuries. But yeah, so I'm going to do Manitous, and then going to try to do some longer events with my son, my 18-year-old son who's autistic. Going to try to work his way up towards doing 100-miler in 2024. So
nice.
That's awesome. What's the farthest he's gone so far?
He has gone. He's gone 33 miles at a backyard ultra before. He's done 8 hours at a backyard ultra.
And how old was he then? Like 16?
That was last year. He was 17.
Okay. That's pretty good for 17-year-old. Nice.
Yeah.
Steven, what you got on deck? What you
I'm running Leadville this year. It's my second attempt. 2021, I DNF'd. So just hoping to get to the finish this year. That's my big goal.
And you're coaching as well, but sometimes it's tough to kind of coach yourself. So, Sean, you being from that relative neck of the woods, what's Steven need to be up for Leadville? Give him some advice.
Be a good hiker. Because where you live, you're not going to get the altitude training. So you need to, and even if you did, you still need to be a good hiker. Yeah. Be a good hiker at Leadville and just be able to jog on the flats. And where did you get stopped at 50? Did you make it to Winfield?
No, I stopped pretty early, like 30, 32.
Okay. Did the elevation get you altitude?
It was like more of a mental, because I tried to get in the lottery like for 5 straight years. So it was kind of like a big shock to actually get in and be there. So it's kind of like a little mixture of mental.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you pull yourself, or were you time cut, or?
I was pretty close to the time cut off, so I kind of just decided to pull myself.
Yeah, that sucks. That's a long way to go. Yeah.
But I'm going out in June. I'm doing the Leadville Marathon, and then we're hiking. Like I think we're going to do about 4 14ers while we're out there. So good training trip.
Yeah. If you can get in a couple of the 14ers while you're there for the marathon, that'd be great. Like the day after. That's what I have my clients do if they go to the marathon or the 50 miler. Have them do a couple of 14ers when they're there. Even the day or two before the marathon, just because that's not their goal race. Leadville's the goal race. So
yeah.
Hey, you're late,
dude. And I think I'm gonna have to own this in the moment. When I went back and revisited the email, Trent, I don't think you were in that email thread.
I tell you, this is more difficult to get into than one of my races.
I know. It should have capped out already. And I'm
going through all the emails thinking, man, Ian must have forgotten all about me.
Dude, it's not you, unfortunately. And I just did a really piss poor job trying to come up with things in the moment. So, I appreciate you guys being patient. Those who are watching live appreciate being patient. Trent does a much better job than I do in this moment. So, Trent, I'm glad that you finally logged on here, buddy. So I will introduce Trent for those who do not know Trent. Trent is an OG at this point to Trails Collective. He's 3 for 3 in the New Year's Eve episodes, despite my trying to not get him into this one. Despite my best efforts, he's here again somehow. His year was pretty packed, racing his own, with a highlight of not being the last person standing in a backyard ultra. probably you deserved a couple rounds on the quitter's couch, I think, for that effort and not being the last person standing. And to tour the Salisbury and Topsco Valley, it should also be noted that he did not win the Cayuga Trails 50 in 2021.
No.
And he is the hub of a great trail running community, the Delmarva, directing a handful of races, including the Algonquin 50K, just mess of something that they call a trail race down there.
It's it's not worth running. Yes.
Yeah, and as much as he tries, people just kind of keep coming and actually probably growing despite his best efforts in putting on a really crappy race with things that you call trails.
Is that the one where there was like this much water last year, people running through?
Unfortunately, that's the only. Yeah, it was only that much.
Yeah. One of my clients ran that. Yeah, it sounds fun. Sounds super fun.
Oh, that's funny. He's only been on the Beast Coast for about a handful of months here, and he already knows the legend of Algonquin 50K by the amount of water on the course.
We don't have water crossings. We have land
land bridges.
That's right. It is land bridges between just swamps of water. That's good. That's fantastic. All right. So, Trent, you probably have something a little bit more formal than I was losing at and coming off the top of my head to challenge in the Stump the RD section. So assuming that's the case, otherwise I'll just have fun bantering with you guys more informally, not trying to just kill time. We are going to move into Stump the RD. So Sean and Brian and Steven, I texted you some of their info the other day. Let me know if you need me to revisit anything just in case it changes how you're going to look at them here in the moment. But otherwise, I will just let you run with a Stump the RD segment here.
Yeah, excellent. So we got some 3 RDs out here. Hopefully you guys all have an opportunity to win. We have Ian. He popped. He's like, I'm out of here.
We lost him.
It's my time to sit back and eat some cookies, but all right, I'll stay in here. Hit it. Yeah.
Cookies. That's the
eat the cookies, Ian. Drink the beer.
Bring it. All right.
Yeah. So the first question going to each of you is what is the number one aid station food to keep a runner off the course?
Off the course.
Off the course. You want them to just not finish your race.
Sean, you should be good at this since you're so good at puking during races. I mean, what works for you, buddy?
I used to be good. My stomach's a lot better than it used to be. Now it probably just the M&M's bowl.
Yeah, it's taken a turn since 2020, right?
Well, even before that, I mean, seriously, COVID didn't need to teach us that.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, that's just always been gross, and it just is gross.
How about the sugar-free gummy bears?
That's disgusting.
Sugar bears are anything sugar-free should be eliminated. I like that idea. All right.
I don't know, maybe like chili. Chili with a lot of beans in it.
That's good.
Like maybe that occurs at some of the longer races.
That's
one of the
good.
Man, and coming through at like mile 26 at Manitou's a couple years ago is having a really good race, kind of running. Ben Nephew and some guy from California are kind of leading, feeling really good. And I don't know, like I got there and they had these nice grilled chicken breasts. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but it looked really good in the moment. And so I just went ahead and polished off a grilled chicken breast, and that didn't go so well in terms of performance thereafter.
No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but after 50K, I ran that thing, and they had some really good chili at the end. But I think if you put that at the middle of the race, it might be.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that was a good warm-up one. We kind of got things moving there. So, ideal race day temperature, weather. Well, weather. You know what I'm talking about, right, Ian? You know what? But we got to ask these guys because they're probably going to get the incorrect.
Sean's used for the past 20 years to be living in like some sunny like Rockies or like Pacific Northwest state where it's sunny like 300 days a year and kind of warm. And so I'm pretty sure he's going to get this answer wrong.
Well, it's usually like 28 and clear at the start, and then warms up to like 60 by the finish. It's pretty nice. So that would be it. Obviously,
I'd say low 50s. High 40s, low 50s.
I would say colder, like 40s, and cloudy.
We're getting better.
Now, my preference would be for like 42 and cloudy, but the correct answer, I'm guessing, for this question would be approximately 38 degrees and raining, dropping into snow by mid-race.
Yeah, I think Ian got about 5 points for that. Very good.
Yeah, I thought you were the host. I didn't think you were playing. You're cheating.
Yeah, he did.
I tried to log off and you brought me back in, so I'm giving some answers here.
Ian is a great race director. So
I wouldn't know. I've never been to his races.
I went to the Cayuga and it started raining. I was very pleased, and he blamed the whole thing on me. So I'll take the blame for that. But I think the worse the weather, the better the stories. And so you guys, I think each of you, as long as you kept going lower in temperature, you're good. I'm actually
post-race hangout's better if it's nice. It's way better if it's nice.
Sure. Yeah, I'm actually in Vermont, hoping it'll be cold, and it's not. So I'm very upset here.
Cold.
No,
it's warm here.
50 degrees. So
give it a few days.
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you at my next door neighbor's house?
I'm actually by where is that place? Sugar Bush.
Oh, okay.
Ski resort.
Yeah, I'm not near there. So, all right.
Skied and snowboarded for the first time, and I was very proud of them. They kept going.
All right.
So I watched them. All right, how we doing? Who's winning here? Ian.
Ian is cheater.
He's cheating. All right, next question here. As a race director, where would be your ideal location to have a race if you could pick anywhere in the world? Go. You got anywhere in the world?
Probably Delmarva. I would guess what they call the Delmarva Peninsula.
That's a pretty good. Yeah.
First, yeah.
Yep. There is maybe one or two better than that, but we're anyone.
Yeah, I kind of like the Northeast, up in Adirondacks, maybe.
Yeah.
White Mountains.
Maybe somewhere with a lot of stairs, a lot of hills.
Always hills. More hills, the better.
Stairs,
West Colorado.
Stairs. I'd say that'd be like the incline in Manitou Springs.
Yeah.
Not Manitou's Revenge, but Manitou Springs in Colorado. Different Manitous.
Yeah.
My house, that would be the best place because I don't have to go anywhere. Maybe I should make a race in my backyard. Huh.
Wait, is that Laz? I can't see you that well. Laz. All right. Next question here. The ideal DNF rate. I love that question. Where's my buddy Gabe to be on here?
100.
Yeah, you get to go home early then.
Exactly.
Who said 100% DNF?
Then you're going to go home early, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And you're going to save a lot of money on next year's finisher swag.
What if you have a backyard ultra and like everybody, you give them the wrong course and everybody gets lost and they're done after an hour?
What if you have it go on for like 3 or 4 days and then a team from another country just decides to tie it? And everybody wins.
Everyone loses.
What's that?
That's right.
Everyone loses. You can't have a tie for win.
Yeah.
Everyone can tie to lose.
Yep. All right, I got 2 more questions. This next one is, what is the most unique swag item you've ever either given or seen at a race?
Socks, of course. Whoever the guy that created the socks for the finish line.
Socks, like regular socks?
Running socks with the race logo on them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've been doing that for 21 years, so
yeah.
Never had a shirt at my race.
Heiner has some nice socks up in Pennsylvania. I've been wearing those for years, and a nice course because it destroys you in the first few miles.
So they have a high DNF rate probably then, huh?
Yeah. Unless they don't know you're still out there, and then you still finish.
Meisner, have you never done a shirt for your race ever?
Zero shirts.
That is incredible.
Really? I get too many shirts at races. I don't want shirts, and so therefore I figure other runners have way too many shirts too. But we go through socks very quick. So
I had somebody come up to me at one of my races this year, and we'd been doing shirts before, and this year we decided not to do shirts, and it was just more of an add-on if people wanted to buy a shirt. But I had a guy who had never done a trail race before. He'd done a bunch of road races, and he came in and he says, you know, this is the first race I've run where I had to pay for a shirt, pay extra for a shirt.
And you told him, well, good, you probably didn't need it because you've done enough others, so you don't need another shirt.
I said, well, welcome to the trail community.
That's good.
Send me his address. I'll send him about 10 different shirts that are sitting in my storage. Stick of shirts. Yeah.
No, every race director shirt is the best shirt ever. I still don't want your shirt. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know, there's some nice shirts out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want it.
I'm going to send you some.
I was going to say, all of us are going to send you our shirts. Now you're going to get nice.
I got about 150
Can I send
for
all
you.
of them some Algonquin shirts? Is that cool?
All right, I'll make sure to share with you guys Meisner's address if I have it.
Yeah, I need everyone's address. We're going to send shirts. And they're mostly going to be like women's small. And
they're going to run small too.
Women's smalls and men's extra large.
Nothing I love more than women's cut because I can never figure it out. Can't figure out women or women's shirts. I don't know.
You got to do unisex. That's why. Keep it at unisex.
Socks are way easier to keep. You don't have to worry about those sizings.
Yeah, the Taco 25K, we gave out socks, and they were very well loved. And nothing like socks or nice short sleeve shirts when it's freezing cold. But that's whatever makes no sense is usually what makes the most sense. So, all right, let's see. I think Ian's still winning. I don't know if anyone else got any points. Is that fair to say, Ian?
That's probably fair to say. I have no idea. That's fair to say, I think. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. All right. So the last question, and Ian, hopefully, these are good. And we got a few good things coming out there. But when the finish line, what is the best way to finish a race? In your opinion, what's the best finish line operation?
You mean like what should the most ideal setup be for the finish line as a race director?
Yeah.
The same line that you drew with your foot for the start, and that's also the finish.
I like
that. And you drew it like 10 seconds before the start, and then it's
maybe a toe. I was thinking like I took a tow line once from the back of a truck and just put it across a big yellow.
I hope it's still there at the
was
finish.
this from the back of your truck? It's like a tow line. I'm like, yeah. But we actually once drew a line in the sand on the beach once we had an acid. I think Ian, you might have talked to Gabe about this when he did the FKT of Acetique, and we had to draw a line there to kind of finish it off. But I came across a finish line once, and either the music was too loud or there was no music, or one time I finished a race and no one was there, which was interesting. So I think there's ways to make it exciting and ways to make it memorable, but sometimes it's a little too chaotic as well. So.
Yeah, you're muted, Ian. We can't hear you.
And that's fair. And you guys directing some pretty just good communal events. I mean, I guess some of mine I've given some production value. That's not even the right phrase. I mean, that's to imply that any RD is not having a production value. That's just a stupid thing to say. I'm going to redact that statement in terms of coming through with some of the races, like, I don't know, even for Breakneck this year with being the championships in the Golden Trail Series, like I'm looking into all this scrim or whatever. But ultimately, I mean, you're right in terms of the drawing the line in the sand, in the Del Marber, in the dirt or whatever. Just this classic trail, ultra, friends coming together community where it's kind of morphed into something else. And I'm definitely, I think, guilty of that in some regard. But that line in the sand or the dirt is pretty solid.
So wait, the Golden Trail Series, did you name that after yourself?
I think that they did. I'm actually seeing if I can file the paperwork now for a kind of trademark infringement there, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
If you've noticed Solomon sponsoring less races, Killian, I'm pretty sure they had to pull Killian's contract because my my Golden Trail lawsuit was impending. And so you might as well start a shoe company that.
Are you carrying his shoes?
It's funny. The
Solomon won't let you.
I've reached out to N Normal twice, I think, so far, and just did the official like online portal or whatever, and just asked if they'd be opening or considering accounts in the U.S. or U.S. distribution or whatever. And both times I get back this automatic, like, we've received your inquiry, we've sent it over to the correct whatever department, or which in my head I'm like, come on, there's like 3 of you in like one room right now in terms of like getting over to the right department or whatever. And so I get that response and just no answers from there. Like, and so I've sent a couple now, and then the most recent one, what was it? I think I said, does N normal stand for, because it being not normal in terms of what it stands for. And I think I just went on with a paragraph, like, is it not normal to not respond to like potential distributors or like vendor inquiries like at all? Like, yes, that's actually not normal. I went through like a few of those and still no answer, no reply there, unfortunately. So I don't know, like, I was interested to see where they were going, but.
Do you know Dakota? If you know Dakota, send him a message. Maybe he can get through.
That's a good question. I don't know if I have Dakota's contact, but you can connect me. I am curious.
I can give you his contact.
All right, yeah, do that, because I am curious, and I'm also curious who's going to be the Tom Hooper, if you're watching or not. Tom Hooper out of New Hampshire. He and I were texting a little bit as I was coming into the episode tonight, and just he was commenting on the number of sponsored elite athletes that are leaving or have left Hoka and Salmon. And some of those, they're about to make their announcements at the like next week or whatever, like who their new shoe company is.
Or like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's that close. So I don't know, like, what's Meisner? You got the inside track there. Like, who's it? And I was like, could it be N normal? Do they have that amount of like capital or whatever? And I don't.
How much money do you think Killian's worth? Of course, they have that amount of capital.
Yeah. So like, would it be that? Like, are they like just full on about to try to take the?
I wouldn't be surprised if Killian's throwing in a good amount of money for that. To get back to the sport, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Does that normal? Do they make race shirts? Because we could get them for races. We don't go the sock route.
They should just make socks, because that's not normal in terms of versus like the race shirts. That's a good. Yeah. They could. How far can they go with a not normal kind of a concept there with their brand? Yeah.
Well. Yeah. We're doing a point system. I don't know if I told you about that, Ian. So UTMB is trying to get into our races. So we're kind of, if you run UTMB, you get like 4 stones to be able to run Algonquin, which is pretty cool. So.
That's good. You should, instead
of. You got to find the stones in the water.
You find the stones, you bring them to me, and we kind of look at them.
Did they not come to you before they came to Grindstone?
I think they probably did. I probably didn't get the email. I don't get a lot of emails.
It went to spam.
They just don't send it, right? Like, you know.
Well, no, it said, "Dear Grindstone and Algonquin." I was like, "Wow, this is pretty cool. We would like you to be a part of our race." No, we didn't get anything like that. No, nothing. I don't know.
What do you think? What do you think they gave the guy at Grindstone for the race?
They were buying a lot of races recently. I think they spent a lot of money, and on some of those races, they're going to lose money too. But I think they're okay with that because they have so much money.
Yeah.
To your point, Trent, maybe we should work the stones. I mean, that doesn't seem to be like a trademarked concept, does it? Could they get us in that? Maybe we do need to work the number of stones into all of our races.
We were going to call it like Rolling Stones or something, and kind of put like songs to them.
Now there we might get into some trouble, but you know,
can we give out kidney stones? I had one of those this year.
That's a piss poor idea.
That's pretty funny.
All right, boys, thanks for logging in. Thanks for your patience as I tried to fill the void, and it's tough to fill the void left by Trent Swanson. But buddy, as much as you've been all over lately, Trent, and overseas, coming back, being in Vermont, thanks for making it happen here tonight. Thanks to all of your families or friends for letting me have you guys for a bit. Sean, hopefully that game night is still rolling on your end.
It is, yep. I think the boys are still winning, so it didn't hurt for me to leave. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So I appreciate it all, guys. And I am stoked to connect with all of you more in this upcoming year. Thanks all for supporting the Trails Collective, for plugging in, and to those tuning in live and hanging with us there. And that I appreciate it. So
happy 2023.
Happy 2023,
Yeah,
guys. And maybe we can follow up on the Stones question and after the big and normal announcement, whoever it might be.
All right.
Maybe you.
All right. See ya.
Peace. Bye.
Thanks.
All right. So we are going to roll into next segment. Matt, good to see you. Chawen.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Yep, you're good.
Always the first thing I say.
Yep, you are on. And then Sam, I'm not sure whether you've got at least audio. We don't have visual on you. So you might have to.
Do you have my audio?
I got your audio. Yeah, see if there's a setting where you can go in and hit your video live. But at least we got your audio, so we can hear you. So for those tuning in, this is going to be the Lipsey Logic segment, which I've just come up with. That was not necessarily Lipsey's idea, so he'll have to convince me to change it ahead of next year. But also the OG, or being in on the ground level in Sport and Trails Collective, plugging in with content, plugging into the New Year's Eve special. And I've had a good time the past couple of years in, I don't know, this banter. So Matt Lipsey is coming to us from Marysville, PA. That's where you're at right now. Is that the current?
That's where I'm at. This is it.
Yeah. Relatively shorter distance trail ace, which often gets a little bit of the shade, where a lot of the focus is on ultra and 100 milers these days. Of 107 ultra sign-up finishes, the vast majority are wins. He's been a frequent contributor to the Trails Collective, including 3 of 3 on the rounds of the special, and what I'm calling here now Lipsey Logic. Chawen, coming into us from Brooklyn. That's where you are, right? Are you in Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn right now. Yep.
That's where New Year's Eve is happening.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, right. I can see it. It's on the TV. It's muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, New Year's Eve is happening for everyone, right?
No, just on the
that's where it starts. And then it makes this wave, right? And then it reaches the rest of the world. So you're right there at the epicenter.
That's
We'll be the first.
That's gonna have to be the logic too. Does actually New Year's Eve actually start in New York City?
For sure it does.
And then
I know that
kind of
I'll
extends
agree
out.
with that.
And if it didn't happen in New York City and they didn't have a ball, would New York City or New Year's Eve even exist? I don't know. But she is wicked tough. Maybe the longer the better, with some great destination events under her belt, from New Zealand to Portugal, in addition to Beast Coast Classics, such as having her for Virgil Crest 100. I think it was last year. This year included possibly her longest, I think, with Tahoe 200. I think that was under your belt. And then Sam, coming to us from Newtown Square, PA. Is that where you are, Sam?
Yeah, sorry about the video here. I've got no idea what I'm doing.
I don't know either, but if you go, I think if you go into settings, you can choose your preferred like audio and video. Maybe
looks like it's all on, but just not working.
Dude, it's unfortunate. I wanted to see your happy face, and I was hoping you'd have a nice mustache that was all tweezed out and looking good.
It's pretty solid, but yeah.
Damn it, man.
I'll keep working it.
All right. Yeah. You could always log out and try to log back in if you want. I'm not sure whether they'll get it. But
Sam, can you see if you can upload a picture of yourself as a background?
That's a
take a picture, a selfie of that mustache, and then put it as your background. Do a close-up, not even necessarily your face, but just do the like grainy blow up of your mustache, and then we know it's you.
That would be good too. And you can do that under the I think it's the settings as well in terms of choosing your background there.
Jesus.
Sam, so coming to us from Newtown Square, PA, clearly technologically challenged, and he is newer, I believe, to the scene. I don't know quite your backstory history here, but newer to the scene in terms of official trail results, and I'm seeing in the hopper. but crushing it in the past couple of years. 2022 wins, including Highlands Trail, a burly course, Laurel Highlands, and the Thunder Chicken Squatch in the lineup. He was 7th at this year's JFK and a PR of 5:55, so not slow. And Sam, it is good to have you in the mix as well, even if just your svelte voice in the back end.
All right.
Svelte.
All right, so Matt usually has some pressing logic questions for us here, or equations, but I will let you roll with it.
Thanks, Ian. Okay, so the first one is New Year's themed. We were just talking about how down there below me here in Brooklyn, she's out at the epicenter of New Year's Eve. And when that ball drops, it's just going to it's the epicenter of New Year's Eve, like we were just discussing. But they drop other things other than the New Year's Eve ball for New Year's, which until I feel like maybe I live under a rock, but I didn't know this until maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Other towns will drop other things. So for example, Harrisburg drops a strawberry. It's not a real strawberry. It's a big light up strawberry, and they drop it just like they do the ball. Do you guys know this, or is this new to you guys?
Oh yeah.
This is new. Yeah. This is new.
Oh, I know about it.
Oh, you know about it. Okay, good. Okay, because
that's where we can't see your facial expression, dude. Come on, man, figure that out. But anyway, keep going.
His voice is so svelte.
I know. I just get lost on it, and I just be like, I just want to listen and not think about the mental framework. But I keep going.
Anyways, what's the most bizarre item dropping on New Year's that you've heard of? I've heard of a lot of them, but what do you think is the weirdest thing you've ever heard of being dropped?
Pickle.
Yeah, I've heard that. Where's that dropped at? Do you know?
Dillsburg, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, they were just talking about that last night. Yeah, we were playing soccer. My buddy said Dillsburg. Yeah, pickle. You're good. Yeah, I like that. Anybody else?
I haven't heard of anything else, but since we're talking about food,
okay,
hard-boiled egg.
Hard-boiled egg. If a hard-boiled egg.
Oh no, actually, no, a raw egg.
I was gonna say, why would you say raw egg?
I don't know.
I got something for you. I think. Oh, I wish I could remember the date exactly, but somebody told me it happens every year. It's on Maudie Tuesday, which I believe is in February sometime, kind of around Mardi Gras time. But if you throw a raw, she told me her name is Brooke, and she has these 3 Australian Shepherds. And she told me that if you throw this raw egg over top of your house, for whatever reason on Maudie Tuesday, it won't break. And I was like, okay, you're for sure pulling my chain. And I was like, yeah, I mean, but I'm down to get pranked. I'm down to try this, And I threw it over the house. I was at my parents' house at the time, just, whatever, hanging out. And I was like, Dad, let's try this. So I threw it over the house. I think I threw it over, you can't, onto cement, but you can throw it into grass. I threw it over the house into the grass, and I think we threw it over the house 6 times before it broke.
What? Wow. Did it just land on a grassy slope?
I lobbed it over the house. I mean, it wasn't like an angle or anything.
Grass.
And then it landed on the grass. There was a little downslope, but it's mostly flat. Huh. And it landed in the grass.
Did you try throwing it the day before and the day after?
I did not. I did not, because I would have just thought that it would have broken. And I was like, okay, let's go find it. We went over there, and there it is. And I'm like, she ain't broke. So we picked it up, threw it again. And then eventually it broke. And I was like, I mean, 6 times is pretty good for a raw egg getting tossed 30 feet in the air. I was surprised. So
what is Maudie Tuesday, or what's the
I don't remember what the significance of Maudie Tuesday is. I just remember that she said Maudie Tuesday, and then she told me that, I think that was 2 years ago, so 2020. And we didn't have a lot going on in 2020, people were looking to throw raw eggs over houses anyways. I didn't have anything. Maudie Tuesday 2020, I'm staying home. What's going on? There's some kind of illness going around, like the big flu or something. Anyways, so I threw this egg over the house a couple times back then, and she reminded me about it this year. And I was like, oh yeah. So I threw it, but I thought for sure she was pranking me. But anyways, when you say drop a raw egg, I mean, I'm with you. I think that's a great idea. It's just
maybe it also doesn't break. on New Year's Day. Maybe it also doesn't break on New Year's Day.
Maybe it'll hatch. Maybe it'll
a new chicken.
Well, or whatever. It could be any kind of bird, What bird would you want it to be?
Well, I just had like Jurassic Park playing in the background earlier. So like, what are they called again? Like pterodactyls?
Oh yeah, like a dinosaur then. That's
dinosaur.
Cool. That's cool. Okay.
My whole
So
family
that kind of would lead me into my next question. If you could travel in time, would you go forwards or backwards? So start with you, dinosaur.
Definitely forwards.
So you want a dinosaur, but you're gonna go forwards.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if it's based on just movies I've been having playing in the background, but earlier I was watching Dune. I was like, what would it be like to be living in the year 10,000?
And if you went forward far enough, you might actually be able to find a dinosaur if they.
Yeah, maybe they come back. They bring him back. So you'll get both.
You're like double dipping. Yeah, it's like going to get like, oh, which ice cream do I want? They're both my favorites. I got chocolate and strawberry. Guess what? I can have them both. Both favorites.
I wish I could say I'd be like one of these people that's always in the present moment, but I feel like I spend so much of my time trying to relive the past. So in reality, I'd be going backwards and just redoing everything I've ever done wrong for sure.
Have you ever
I'd be going back.
Have you ever read what's that book by Stephen King where the JFK assassination, this guy is able to like go back in time and try to undo the JFK assassination. It's whatever the book is titled, whatever date JFK was assassinated on, like 11 something 63, I think.
Yeah, 63 or 64, right?
Yeah, I thought it was 63. Anyways, whatever. The book is like kind of like what you're saying. Like he's this guy and he constantly goes back and he's able to go back in this portal and do everything wrong. Like he does all this stuff wrong and JFK dies anyway. So he goes back and tries to redo everything, goes back and tries to, so you might get yourself in like a Groundhog's Day situation there, but
I mean, that was hilarious. So, I mean,
it was. Bill Murray did a great job. He did a great job.
Yeah,
how about you, Ian? Forwards or backwards?
I think forward as well. I think there's some tendency maybe for people to like the idea of going backwards to try to maybe correct or change or fix things, which I think is just very like, I don't know, like I guess easy enough for me because here I am a fairly privileged like individual or whatever, and like I kind of like my experiences and where life has gone or whatever, and maybe it'd be different if I had some historic thing that I want to go back and change. My answer might be different, but I think it's not. And so but like the stuff coming forward, yeah, man, I'm curious about how that's gonna be in so many regards and what that looks like. Or I don't know, maybe you jump forward to the year 10,000 or whatever. And like,
there's nothing.
Example, there's nothing, right? And then you're literally like, oh crap! Like, what do I do now? Like,
there's a pretty good chance there's nothing in 10,000.
Literally nothing.
There's a pretty good chance. You're just like out there in a. I mean, you could be in a black hole. The sun could be dead. You're like,
you'll get to experience it for like 1 second.
And then you're just like, oh, maybe I
should. Or would you experience it for eternity in that 1 second? I don't know. I haven't watched History Channel at 3 a.m. in a long time, so I don't remember what any of this sounds like. It's 3 a.m. on the History Channel, and they're like, there's that guy with the crazy hair, and he's explaining, aliens and black holes. Anybody? No, I'm the only one who was ever up at 3 a.m. watching History Channel.
It's been a while.
The History Channel is pretty normal. It's like you can learn a lot of stuff. You learn a lot of stuff at 3 a.m. too, but I feel like at 3 a.m. they just get a little crazy with it. They're just like, they talk about, the Civil War and stuff during the daytime, and then they're like, nobody's watching anyways, just play anything. They'll talk about aliens and whatever, robot dinosaurs from the future. Like, I'm like, I'll be like, are you sure we're watching the History Channel? Like, and then it'd be like the History Channel logo on the bottom, and I'm like, okay, man, whatever.
So try win on your next long one, and your next whether it be Tahoe 200 or one of your next 100 milers. We're just gonna see in the live feed, like she's just out there just kind of checking out her phone with like headphones on, and she just be like, I'm just watching the History Channel. Like that's just kind of what I'm doing.
Gonna put that
Yeah,
on
if
my
you run- if you-
calendar.
It's
With
the new
3 in the
running through the
morning.
night, just put it on there. Yeah.
Or 8 stations. 8 station. We're just gonna start playing that, and maybe like everybody's just gonna kind of stop and decide just to hang
What
out.
are you
just
watching?
Kind of pull the plug.
History Channel, of course.
Yeah. What do you mean? What are we watching? Look. Yeah. All right.
Needed to find out what happened to Hitler.
what's funny about all this is that it actually leads me to my next question. I wrote all these random questions down. And I didn't know what kind of segues I'd have to get into them, but it's just great. It's been rolling right through. So my next question is, if you could know the truth to any conspiracy, what would it be? Like you're like, oh, what happened to Hitler? Did he go to Argentina? Or, is he dead? Or, what JFK, grassy knoll? Was there like more than one shooter or like, I don't know, anything? Or Area 51.
That's a thinker, man.
Yeah, well, go ahead and think about it. I was kind of thinking, I'll give you some time to order your dinner while I'll make mine first. I was kind of thinking maybe Area 51 would be, what I would like to, but I feel like it's a long answer. Like you can't just say, what's the truth to Area 51? Well, duh, it exists. We already know that. But like, what's going on in there? Like, I just feel like if I was, this question is, if you could know the truth of any conspiracy, what would it be? It's pretty vague to just be like, I want to know the truth of Area 51, because there's got to be so much going on in there that they can't like, well, pick one, man. What do you want to know? Like, that's what I would say if I was the genie granting me this one truth. So I guess I don't know.
Something related to that, I'd be interested in too, because I don't really know too much about conspiracy theories. But it would be cool to just know definitively if the government knows anything about aliens. So
that'd be cool.
We don't
That's
know.
kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, another conspiracy that's going on is, you may have noticed, is that the ancient aliens. Thank you. Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The guy with the crazy hair is on memes sometimes. So the TVs, you'll notice they're getting bigger and bigger, and also smaller and smaller. Like look at the GoPros, look at the things on your phone.
But while our phones are getting bigger and bigger.
Right. Well, also, before you know it, the medium-sized TV is going to be completely obsolete if this trend continues, because they're getting bigger and bigger and smaller. Where's the medium-sized TV? Where's the guy with the small house who needs a medium TV?
It's going to be your phone.
SOL.
There's the
dumbest thing you ever heard, right? Besides maybe a coffee table book about coffee tables that can also be a coffee table. It was on Seinfeld. It was great.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
That was great. When Kramer turned it into a coffee table, I was just like, oh man, this is great.
The moon landing. That still probes around in my head. Like I don't know. Like I'm still not fully sold.
Can't you just take a picture of the moon on your phone and then zoom in and see if there's a footprint there?
Yeah, I don't know. And speaking of like Area 51 and where things could have been staged, I mean, I don't know. I mean, was it legit or not? Why is it taking this long to go back? I'm still curious about that. But
I want to go back though. Like what was there? Wasn't there just nothing there but dust and that's it?
The Area 51, it makes me think of Roswell. When I was just finished, and I think I was doing my grad work, and I had an internship in New Mexico, and I think I was just driving around doing stuff. And so I went to check out Roswell and check out the little UFO museum there. But it happened to be, so this would have been in 1999, and just out into the theaters was the Blair Witch Project. And I was just kind of on my own, and I don't know, like I went in and just solo saw the Blair Witch Project. And I was in Roswell, and it just kind of creeped me out. And so I had no plans on where I was going to stay that night. It was just me, and I had an old Pathfinder. And so I just drove out to this state park outside of Roswell. And the plan was just to sleep in the truck. And then I just watched the Blair Witch, and I was in Roswell, and I was kind of freaked out. And so I found like the one street light underneath this state park, and I probably got like a pre-race best, or like the worst night's sleep like ever that night. Just I was constantly like turning over and freaked out and whatever. So when you talk about like Area 51, I think of that and a very visceral experience and just being weirded out.
Sounds like you were on a bad acid trip, but you weren't on acid, and there was no way to get out. Like you're like, I don't have anywhere to sleep. I'm scared. There's aliens and witches and all kinds of stuff, and I'm in a desolate wasteland. That sounds crazy. Do you think the Earth is flat?
Come on, we've covered this repeatedly, Brian, on the Trails Collective. It's half pipe shape.
Thank you.
I learned that from Matt.
Gosh. Oh, yeah, I could do a whole episode on half pipe Earth. We're not going to delve into it, but the Earth is a rad place to live. So sick.
I do have to say, I was talking about living in the past here before, and so the conspiracy theory I'd like to get to the bottom of is this this whole climate change thing.
That's helpful.
Yeah. Just I'd really like to know the truth on it. It's like, is it real? Is it not? Come on, let's get on the same ground with this one.
Yeah, and to give us like a plan for, what to do about it.
Oh, man, tangents we could take here. All right, let's keep rolling rather than digging into why all of us are like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what are you, conspiracy theory? All right, let's keep rolling.
I like it. Okay. My next one is, if you were a piece of fruit, what would you be? I would be a banana. I think I would be a banana. I'm not sure. Like, I might change my mind depending on what you guys say and what if you have a better piece of fruit than me. No. If you guys like blow my mind and be like, because I like blueberries, but a single blueberry on a bush, like, I don't know if I'd want to be a.
You have a lot of friends. You'll have a lot of your blueberry friends.
Yeah, but I still don't know if I'd like to be a blueberry or if I'd like to be a banana. And the only reason I want to be a banana is just because that way somebody picks me up and goes, "Oh, what up?" And then they put me back down. And then the next person comes back and goes, "Hey, Jim, check this out. I've never seen this before." Oh, it looks like a phone. And actually, so in a survey that was conducted in 2020 for I think it's the last 15 years running, a banana is still the number one piece of fruit to be selected to be used as an imitation phone. So that's pretty good. I was thinking, maybe, I don't know. I just would like to be part of that joke,
Yeah,
if I had to be a piece of fruit,
would have, supplanted it.
What's that?
But maybe like a plantain would have supplanted the banana there as the
a plantain. Yeah, but you see a plantain and you don't touch those because you're like, oh, those are expensive. I'm gonna pick the cheap bananas. Like they're 89 cents a pound or whatever, and the plantains seem to be like one for $1. I don't know what they were, but they were definitely more expensive than the bananas. I always go with the bananas.
Dude, bananas, your species are going to be extinct as we know it in like 20 years. I mean, this is a rare thing that we're talking to Lipsey here. Then you're about to be gone.
Well, that's kind of our own fault. We like, you eat a banana. When's the last time you ever found seeds in a banana? We made seedless fruit. I don't even know how they reproduce these things. So we made a seedless fruit that has no way of reproducing itself. And I think technically this is the third in the store. I think this is, I could be wrong, but I think this is the second or third species of banana that they're on now because they did the same thing. They had a seedless fruit, it went extinct, or they can't use it anymore for whatever reason. So they have a new one and then a new, I don't know. That's just what I heard. So it was a conspiracy. I wish I knew the truth too.
Sam, Chai-Wen, what you got on fruit?
I think mine would have less sort of family debate about what the best ripeness version is, but I think I'd go with pomegranate.
It's fancy.
Yeah, I'd like to be like a really difficult fruit that very few people know how to eat.
They'll survive longer.
Sounds like you judge them while they ate you. You'd be like, "Oh man, this Neanderthal has no idea he ate a pomegranate."
You're getting all pissed.
Like, "Oh, this family, they're bougie." Technique.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That's what popped in my head.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay, so I was just thinking about what fruits are there even that exist. And I was thinking maybe a pineapple, because then I can hang out on a tropical island. Are they on tropical islands?
They are.
So maybe I want to be a pineapple.
Pineapples were also a sign of good luck. Like people would,
right? Yeah.
They like if you notice on,
like wrap it in gold foil or something.
Yeah, well,
give it as a gift.
Yeah. Well, people would give them as gifts, and then they were so proud and they were so rare of pineapples as gifts that they wouldn't even eat them. They just display them until they went bad, which is like, people are weird creatures, right? I think you'd be like,
hoarders.
Pineapple, that sounds delicious. No, they would just be like, look what I have. Somebody gifted me this. You know, it's so rare and so beautiful, and they wouldn't even bother eating. They would just
also
show
have
off.
a long life then by choosing.
We do the same with pumpkins too. We paint our pumpkins or carve them and then we just
until
leave
they
them there on
rot.
the porch until they. I left mine one time until it disintegrated into a puddle. It was like an experiment. I was like, look at this guy go. He's degrading every day, and he eventually rotted into a puddle and then froze himself flat. And then I scraped him off my sidewalk and then threw him like a frisbee into the woods. But yeah, so pineapple, that's cool. And they used to be a symbol of good luck for like sailors. I think they're on shipping flags or something, but it was once a symbol of good luck too. So very cool. And you're sharp and pointy. So you have like a stegosaurus armor.
Yeah. Protect myself.
They're really going to have to like do some work to eat you, which is like dedication to the craft. How about you?
I think I'm gonna go with kiwi. I kind of like Owen where you're going with the blueberries in terms of, man, just surrounded by friends and it's in this neck of the woods, and I like that answer, and I wasn't thinking about that. But kiwi's also there. Let's go with a kiwi coming out of New Zealand. I've never been, and you've been to New Zealand, right? You race in New Zealand. I've always wanted to go to New
beautiful
Zealand.
There.
I would like to be a kiwi in New Zealand. You got the super fruit insides, a little bit of fuzzy on the outside. Does anybody not like kiwis? Do you guys?
Kiwi and a kiwi from Kiwi.
Kiwis
I would
look
like to
cool
be a
too.
kiwi
They're
from
like
Kiwi.
green inside.
I think the color is fantastic.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that color we have for our names. The Trails Collective Green.
There it
Kiwi
is.
green. Formerly Kiwi green.
I've got green eyes. I'm going to go with kiwi.
Can you get a little closer? Can I see him?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh, there we are. Oh, they are green. Wow, that's nice. They're kiwi green. You're right. Yeah. Okay. How about you're on a deserted island, okay, and you're just stumbling around in rags. You're like, man, this is not good. I've just got on this island, and you find a bag just floating out there from the wreckage, and it has 3 items in it. What are the things you want to find inside?
A knife.
One of them for sure. I want to find a knife, but I don't know about the other 2.
String?
String?
I don't know.
I mean, string is useful. It's very useful.
Oh, maybe not. Okay.
No, don't let me change.
No, because I'm thinking we could probably make
like
string. Oh, like a rope.
Oh, that's much more like I remember on SpongeBob,
like one
string,
one little
like
thread.
Yeah. But that's what I think of when I think of string.
I was thinking rope.
But that could be. You could go with they're just a full-on thing of rope in that bag.
Yeah, big thick rope. I like it. The string. I just thought in my mind. I know what you meant, but in my mind, I just thought it was like, look, string. It's like a 3-inch piece of string.
Well, you could floss your teeth with that.
Yeah, working with what you got. Dental hygiene.
I kind of want to have a fishing hook.
Yeah, good idea.
Like in there. And I kind of like the string as well, but maybe it would have to be something thinner so it would work with the fishing hook. And I kind of like the knife as well. But I also feel like you're on an island. I guess it depends on, you're assuming that I'd assume that it's just kind of like this warmer island.
Yeah, I never specified. You
didn't. So if it's something freezing, I'm going to hope that there's some sort of, some flint or some sort of goose down waterproof parka in there or something like that. But then water becomes a big concern.
Pretty nice.
I would like the thought of a water filtration.
Oh, like
system.
or like I guess it depends on what's on the island, but you might want a bucket to hold water.
Yep, that's a good idea.
I'm gonna go with a mating pair of chickens.
Or even just one chicken.
Those are two things. So
all right, I'll take those 2.
Even just one chicken.
Good call.
Is pretty good.
Yeah, no.
You'll
Works
get
for me. Yeah,
eggs.
easy source of food, steady source of food,
companionship.
Those raw eggs to throw over the islands.
On
Yeah,
Maudie
well, you know-
Tuesday.
Huh. That's a good call.
I like that. I like knife. I like water filtration system. And I mean, I like all the answers you guys are giving too, but I'm just saying mine would be probably water filtration system of some kind, because that's like probably number one priority. And then some kind of, like Ian said, maybe like a whole bunch of matches or something that's going to like be a fire source for a long time. I don't want to fiddle around with flint. I don't think. I just want a whole bunch of matches. And then once you get the fire going once, you just don't let it go out, I guess.
Unless there's
Well,
chickens.
if you have a whole bunch of matches, I guess you can.
Those darn chickens might come over and, just kind of, hop around on the fire and put it out.
Well, I didn't have any.
Man, why did I have those chickens?
Why are Sam's chickens on my island? Damn it. I mean, they're welcome, but
they're flight capable chickens. Apparently they
well, if it could wait, did they carry the coconuts over to my island? Did they grasp it by the hull?
They have very strong talons. Yeah.
Was this an African chicken?
I did not specify, but
you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Monty Python. Okay.
I missed that one. No.
Oh, Mike, this guy, he goes, he's talking about coconuts or something, and he's like, "Well, how did the coconuts get here?" And these guys just go into like a 20-minute argument about how the coconuts got there, and they're like, "Well, a swallow could have carried it," and he's like, "A swallow?" And he's like, "How could a 5-ounce bird carry a 6-pound coconut?" He's like, "I could grasp it by the husk," and he's like, "Well, it could grasp it. It's a simple question of weight ratio. It's not whether or not he could carry it. It's grasp it. It's whether or not he could carry it." And he's like, "Oh, maybe they work together. There's a whole bunch of them." And he's like, "Well, maybe it was an African swallow." I was like, "Oh, well, an African swallow." They go on. It's 20 minutes. It's like, anyways, that's what I was going off of. Sorry to digress. Okay, I think we nailed it. We'll move on to the next one here. If you were a tree, what type of tree would you be and why? Or not necessarily type, but what species?
What are those giant trees in California?
The redwoods?
Sequoia. I'll be a sequoia tree.
Nice. Just any specific reason or
Uh,
is it big?
Oh, wait.
Big tree energy.
I'm just trying to think. I just want to be in a cool location.
They are
And
a cool
they
location.
they live for thousands of years, so they might have a chance at seeing what your 10,000's like.
There you go.
Yeah, that works. So my thoughts are I would want to be maybe like a tamarack because they're kind of like a deciduous tree, kind of like a coniferous tree. And they also are the choice wood for making snowshoes. And I think snowshoeing is cool. So I think that's I do like the way they look. They're not my favorite looking tree, but just the fact that they have a cool name and they use them to make snowshoes, I think is great. There's other trees that are also great. I like the eastern hemlock, provides a lot of shade for brook trout, things like that. They have tannins in the bark, so you can use them to tan hides. Yeah, there's a lot of great trees out there, but those two kind of come to mind.
It sounds like you just want to be a telephone and a snowshoe.
Telephone and a snowshoe. Telephone? What's a telephone? What do you mean telephone?
The banana.
A banana?
Yeah.
A banana? No, I want to be a banana so I can pretend to be a telephone. I don't want
Okay.
to be I would be part of a bad joke. Like, inside joke. One of these days I wish it was part of one.
That's funny. I mean, this is how much is coming out in terms of the psyche, I guess, in all of us, right? I mean, Chen, when you keep coming back to the concept of
that's true.
I want to be someplace cool, and you're
Yeah.
kind of living that way, right? You do these destination races, and like you're I don't know, living that.
I do like to go to cool places, so
You
I
do.
guess that's just related to what I keep thinking of, I guess.
Then I'm on that concept go with banyan. I think for a similar reason. I've always thought the banyan trees just are really cool looking trees, like these immense, like
Do look cool.
multifaceted, like root whatever systems, and they're also in really cool places. And I think I just looked it up as we were looking. They live up to like 500 years or something like that. So maybe not as long as some of the sequoias or others, but I've always thought that's a really cool tree.
Yeah, I mean, kind of in the same, keeping in that same feeling. I kind of like the idea of like a grove of trees. I think that's what I'd want to be. I'd want to be part of of a grove, a network, and I was like thinking about where I would hang out, and I think some slope in Italy in an olive grove would be pretty damn cool.
They have trees in olive groves? I thought they mostly had olives in olive groves.
An olive, I would think an olive
tree.
Yeah.
An olive tree. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had in my mind, I was thinking like grapes, and I was like, no, wait, I'm wrong.
I was second guessing. I was like, damn, is it a shrub?
No. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a tree, but yeah, I was wrong. I was like thinking, I was like, grapes. Anyways. And then I forgot to tell you, this kind of loops me back. I was looking at the questions here that I've written down. We talked about the strange things that you saw, or, the pickle down in Dillsburg being dropped. I forgot to say that I thought the weirdest item being dropped on New Year's Eve that I've heard of is bologna. So in Lebanon, PA, they have like Lebanon sweet bologna. It's like it's called Seltzer's Lebanon bologna, and there's like this Amish guy. It's not Zach Miller, but there's an Amish guy. Just kidding, Zach's not Amish. But there's an Amish guy on the, but he does look like Zach. Conspiracy theory. I wish I knew the truth too. But there's a Amish
it's going to be their nickname. Is going to be Baloney Zach. Is the
Baloney Zach, Banana Man.
Mm-hmm.
The bologna has this Amish guy on it, and they drop these gigantic packaged sweet Lebanon bolognas, like they do the ball. They drop them down, and then I don't know, the townsfolk go out and eat them raw. I don't know, but
like drop them from where? Like they go on top of this building, just kind of huck some bologna
it's
over.
the same thing. It's like it's on a pole, and it comes down, and it's got. You'd have to ask Clayton Bouchard. He was there. He sent me a video of it once, and I was like, wow, that is really something.
Sounds like we need to host next year's episode from that place and just kind of all just checking out the drop bologna. I mean, it sounds like
maybe
that's
he's
the place
there
to
right
be.
now. Maybe we can loop him in. No, just yeah, no, I thought that was really funny. The bologna coming down. Okay, looks like we do one more here. Okay, so your house is on fire. Hypothetically, you can save one material possession, and
now
would
this be your actual house living, or this be like your house, like like your family and like community is like on fire? We're talking house.
No, your actual house, not your emotional support network is on fire.
All right, good.
Your house is on fire, and you can save one material possession. So let's just say that your house is on fire, and your wife, your girlfriend, or husband, and your kids, and your dog, and your cat, and all that, like they're already out. They were, their house on fire. We're leaving. Okay. Aside from that, one material item, like let's say, I have a lucky stuffed teddy bear or something. Like that's the thing you get. I don't know. Whatever. What's
pretty much my answer?
Is a lucky teddy bear?
No. Well, not exactly a teddy bear, but so I think it's really funny that we've mentioned chickens several times because one of my sort of nicknames among my older friends is Chicken, and that's because one of my stuffed animals years ago that I got, it's like my favorite stuffed animal is a chicken. I actually have him right next to me, so I can show.
Show it. I see it. Very cool.
Oh.
Look at that. You've already got it ready to go. In case
I mean, I just think it's so funny that he's joining me on this talk. But yeah, he's on my desk, and he's just pretty precious to me.
That's cool. That's really cute. Okay, cool. You got your chicken, and I love that he's ready to go. He's on retainer.
He sits next to my keyboard, so it's really funny that.
Yeah, and he's ready to go. The fire alarm goes off.
Yep, I'm grabbing him.
Somebody says fire, boom, out the door, down the chicken.
Yep.
How about you, Sam? One thing that you would save.
Honestly, I can't think of anything that I would save.
Just let it burn.
Any material stuff, because outside of our family, right? That's we're not considering that material possessions, right? I don't have to choose between my kids here.
Right. Yep. That's the next question. I'm just kidding.
So it's just yeah, I mean, and honestly, being able to say that is kind of freeing. That it's no, there's nothing. I wouldn't save anything.
That is so zen. You wouldn't even save your bonsai tree though. Like I feel like
I have already killed a bonsai tree, so I had no idea what I was doing, and it just kept getting trimmed until it was just basically a stick. So,
man, I don't know how you achieve that level of zen. Then do you drink tea every day with like the master? How do you achieve that level of just not attached to anything like that?
Well, does that mean that I'd no longer be able to have coffee at all?
I'm just asking if your secret is to be that like very zen.
I don't know. It was one of those things where I just couldn't I can't think of anything that would it's like it's I don't know, thinking about like what I don't know, there's nothing that I feel like I would need to take with me.
Okay, excellent, fair answer.
Due to be the swag from Highlands Trail Festival this past year, like that's one of a kind. That was a nice top. You need to get that actually.
Well, I mean, I'm wearing it, so it would be on me. So there's that's just coming with me. That doesn't come off.
Oh, sure you are, Mr. Not on Camera.
I'm gonna go with maybe a box of old photos, because a lot of that is I don't have digitized, and I guess it's all up here, and I rarely look at them. I guess that's one of the things. Like I rarely look at them, but I kind of know they're there, and it's kind of like a piece of that history that's just not existing on some social media page or Google Photos forever. Like they're just like printed photos from like a couple decades. I guess I'd probably grab those.
That's a good idea. I think that makes me think that if I was at my current house, if I was at my own house, I would probably save like my sketchbooks, because the thing about like drawing is it's like if you don't, to me, it's like if I don't put pen to paper on, when I put pen to paper and I look back at those drawings, that's what thoughts came out of my brain on that day. Like if I put pen to paper at a different point in that day, or not that day, or the next day, sometimes I'm itching to draw because I'm like, what's in my head? I don't know. It's like a pensive, like in Harry Potter, he like pulls that thing out of his head and puts the thought in the bowl. It's like, if I don't draw, then I never find out what was in my head that day. So there's like these books that sketchbooks that I have of stuff that, and if they did burn, like, I mean, yeah, I'd be bummed, but like Sam, you just gotta like, you'd have to think about, there's water under the bridge at that point. You just move on, or there's a problem, there's a solution, you move on. You can always draw more stuff. You have pictures of it, scans of it, whatever. It's different, but if I was here, that's what I would say. If that's my item, be like my sketchbooks. But Ian, you made me think that if I was at my parents' house or something visiting, and the one thing I could save from that place, I'd probably save, we have a crate of photo albums from when we were kids. Like actually, I think we have 3 crates, and they're downstairs. And, they've got, my brother has a series of books that my dad would take these old school photos. They were like the original memes. Like you'd take these photos and then give them a caption in the photo album. Right. And he has like the one I remember specifically is we went to visit my aunt and uncle in Indiana. In Indiana, we went to the zoo, and there was these tortoises there, like rare it is, they have sex. Well, my dad got a picture of, he could have been a National Geographic. He got these Galapagos tortoises going at it turtle style, and the caption for the picture just says self-explanatory. I thought that was like really funny, but he has all kinds of stuff in there, and it all has captions, so it's not just, my dad said when he was looking at old family albums, he got frustrated with just seeing pictures and being like, well, what is this? What is the picture of? Who is in this picture? He has everybody from our so-and-so's name, from, if there's a picture of a group of people, everybody's named in it. It's pretty cool. And I think that would be
handwrite it.
Yeah. He just handwrote everything. Yeah. We didn't have, he still doesn't know how to use a computer. It's like seek and destroy. Like he's just one finger over top of the keys, like bow, when he types anything. He does have a smartphone, but he doesn't, maximize it. He's just basically using it as a jitterbug. But yeah, so that would probably be my thing that I would save if I was at my parents' house. If I was at my house, I'd save my sketchbooks.
Right on. Well, I hope none of our houses burn down tonight.
Well, they keep you warm for a little while. You just have to sleep next to them for,
We'll keep you warm.
Yeah, they keep you warm.
So what? Good to good to think. The concepts and thinking about so my wife sometimes when I'll do some of these pieces, they're like talking about running. Like, does anybody like pay attention to that stuff? Does anybody actually watch or care? And I'm like, I don't know. I like talking about running stuff, or like people like we interview, and it just like doesn't get it. But like here too, here's a bunch of running, bringing us all together, but talking on things that don't have to do with running at all. So I appreciate. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I do have like and I think that we should end with something running related now that now that you say that. And plus, I just felt like maybe talking about our houses burning down is not a good place to end it. I was really getting this like, man,
into my house burning down.
I shouldn't end it like that. So you know what? We won't. How about that? So and this one is something that I thought of actually while I was on a run today. Well, actually a ski, but running on my skis. So my question is this will be the last question is, have you ever you've been on a run and you hear a car coming, you're on the road or whatever, and not in a creepy way, you're just running on the road and you hear a car coming and you're like, oh man, if I don't make it to that tree or that crack before that car catches me, my dog dies, or like something like that. You know what I mean? Or like, then I won't live to be 70 or something like that. Like, have you ever done that? And if you have, what are your thoughts? Because my thought is always like, oh no, I'm not going to live to be like 100 if that car catches me before I make it to that crack or that tree. And then it usually if that, if that car beats me to the crack or the tree, I just go, yeah, the head start, he cheated, he's in a car. But that's typically what I think of. It's like, oh no, I'm not going to live to be 100.
I don't think I ever get those thoughts on runs. I think it's usually something in the day where I'm like, if I'm going to make this light, or if I'm going to be able to, I don't know, open the hatch of the car with all these things in my hands, or like something random like that, where I'd be like it's going to be a good day, or there's something like riding on it or something like that. Just these random things. But I don't think I ever have those thoughts when I'm on a run like that.
If you don't make the light, you're like, I'm gonna have a good day if I make the light.
I don't think there's ever like the alternative. I think it's just like it's going to be like a good day or something like that if I do make the light, but it's not going to be like, oh crap, I'm screwed if I don't.
That light was fast. I would have. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Get the next one. That's funny.
I feel like mine are pretty contrived usually. Like I'll be, I don't know, like have to throw something in the garbage and be like, if I make this, I'm getting selected in the Western States Lottery, and then I miss, and I'm like, all right, well, this one, all right, just like,
this one for sure.
Yeah,
this one for sure. It's like when like in The Office, Michael Scott does that like backwards basketball shot. He like throws it over his shoulder, and he's like, "I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip," and he wants to like throw it behind his back, have it go in, and then walk away, but he misses, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, catch you guys on the flippity flip." And he does again, and he's like, misses. And they cut back to that scene. He's done it like 100 times, and he just keeps missing. He's like, "I'll catch you on the flippity flip." And after like 200,
I guess that's working. That's working to create your own destiny. If you don't get it the first time, whatever. Just kind of keep trying there until you finally nail that to get the outcome that you desire.
Manifest.
God gave you free will. Catch you on the flippity flip.
Mm-hmm. So on the flippity flip, what you guys got most excited about for? What's your flippity flip for 2023? What are you most excited about for? Could be just a life experience. It could be a race. It could be one and the same. What are you guys looking forward to? Lipsey. Go ahead, Charlie. You're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I procrastinated my planning, so it's totally up in the air still. Oh no, I do have a plan. Forgot. I forgot that I have one plan. I'm gonna try to hike Everest Base Camp in a few months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it'll be my first time in Nepal. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And for that one, is it not as regulated where pretty much anybody can go to base camp? It's just kind of what happens from there becomes
Yeah, so I mean, you still need to get permits, but
Mhm.
it's not too bad. You can't actually stay at base camp unless you know people or you're actually summiting. But it's supposed to be a pretty cool hike, just to like see those massive mountains.
What do you think? I mean, that's Everest Base Camp. Speaking on the issues with high mountain
Like the
alpining,
crowding,
the crowding and the issues and the
trash.
garbage and the
Yeah.
trash and the like. I mean, if you're going in for that experience to behold all these beautiful mountains, like it, I mean, is that the experience that you're after, as opposed to wrapping in a backside of where there aren't people, and then you can still kind of bask in the amaze of these mountains, but you're not being drugged down in the what in some levels the negative angle of. I mean, I no doubt there's all this amazing excitement, and it'd be a very colorful space and people from all over the world and a lot of cool things about it. But then there's also the like, but that's kind of the
Yeah.
antithesis of being high and appreciating these mountains for the mountain's sake.
I think Ian, like, for sure all that stuff exists, but everywhere has its flaws. So it's like, if I were you, and I'm pretty sure this is what you're going to do, is like you would just find the beauty in the space and the good in the space. Like, I mean, everywhere you go is beautiful, but also it has its flaws. Just like, all of us have all our flaws. We have good things about us, but for sure there's got to be things about yourself that you don't even like. I mean, I know I wish I had more patience, for example. But when you go to that space, like, I'm sure that's all you're going to see is just the awe and the beauty of it. You're not going to be like, ah, man, Killian left his Snickers wrapper over here. Like, you're not going to see that.
I mean, for me, I know, like, for sure, I will make sure to like pack all my trash and be a good tourist. Hopefully try to remind others if I see anyone do anything, like drop their trash. But yeah, I know the situation's pretty bad with tourism, but I still want to go see it.
Yeah, cool. It's got to be incredible.
Yeah.
Sam, what you most looking forward to? Or one of the things. I shouldn't say most.
Also in the mountains, but probably, I don't know what you could say. It might be a little bit more ambitious. Teaching my 3 and 5 year old to ski. That's what I'm looking forward to this year. We've got our season rentals, and we're going to head out as much as we can, and so that's going to be fun.
And just shoot up to the Poconos, where it's going to be the go-to.
Yeah, probably Blue Mountain mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Sam with the skis. We have a uphill group here at Round Top. It's our nearest mountain. Like, when I do my lunch run from the house, I can see the mountain. It's only 30-minute drive, and we have from 6 to 8 a.m. during the weekday or during the weekends, and 6 to 9 during the weekdays, 6 to 8 on the weekends. They let you skin, snowshoe. You can ski at the base of the mountain. There's a designated uphill route, so for skinning or snowshoe running. And I go every chance I get all winter long. Last winter, this winter, you don't need a pass. You can just go do it. So I try to like bag as many turns as I can. I run uphill. I have a really lightweight ski-mo set up. So tomorrow morning, that's what I did this morning. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. Go out and just earn some turns and bring in the new year, and then jump into some cold water, really cold water, and that'll be, my New Year's Day. But yeah, like you said, Sam, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, is just a lot of skiing, enjoying the snow. And I hear Mountain Running National Championships is in April this year, and I really enjoyed the benefits of training that skiing gave me. So maybe that'll give me an edge. Hopefully I won't be tired going into that. Those are just kind of my thoughts on the new year.
And the cold water, is that just a New Year's tradition, or are you doing something regular, like Wim Hof related or something?
No. I mean, I think that's cool and all. And I recognize all the benefits people talk about and stuff. And it is really cool to like sit there for a while and do that. But we just have always done, my brother and some friends back home, we've always just jumped into cold water on New Year's Day. It's just been a tradition forever. We go for a run and jump into some cold water, and it's a hoot.
Where's Mountain Running Nats this year?
Wasapee, I believe, New Hampshire.
Oh, nice.
That sound right?
I'm not familiar with that race.
It'll be a Sunapee. It's new.
Oh, Sunapee.
Sunapee.
Yeah, see, Worcestershire sauce. I can't pronounce any of that stuff up there.
Yeah, it was one that Mountain Worlds is so early this year that they kind of forced the hand in having an early one. So Tom Hooper with 603 is creating one up at Sunapee, which is he's been a little anxious about just because the conditions that early in the year can be terrible in terms of hosting it.
Slick. Could have had it in PA.
Yep. Well, right on. There's some cool stuff on deck, and Chawin, I've liked seeing some of your posts recently. At least I don't know whether it's coming from Instagram or on the Facebook or vice versa, but some cool shots as I mentioned through the winter.
Thanks.
So I'm assuming we'll come from Everest there as well, and I imagine it'll be a pretty...
Hopefully, I'm hoping it'll actually be more pleasant on the because when I was up in the Catskills last weekend, it was like 0 to -5 Fahrenheit, and that was pretty cold. So it was good practice. So I'm hoping like anything above that should feel
What's the
good.
projection for a few months from now? Should it be
I think lows, I forgot something, maybe like 15 degrees at the lowest, maybe like 20-30 degrees. So
so pretty relatively mild.
Compared to last week.
Well, that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I appreciate Matt running another segment here and digging in. Sam for checking in, Chawin for, especially when you have New Year's, which is the epicenter, as we talked about, right out your
She's in her New Year's bunker right now.
Yeah. New Yorkers don't actually go to Times Square.
I mean, that's a good point, right? I mean, that's probably like tourism epicenter, but
I did it once, and like I mean today is like really rainy and foggy, so I don't know what the situation is out there, but there's just years where
Matt can probably tell you what the situation is out there.
Let me look. Some people are talking. I have it muted, so I don't know what they're saying.
Does it look crowded?
No, it doesn't. They keep saying it's crowded, but it never.
They're just not showing it.
Yeah, they never look.
But I just know like when you go out there, you have to like hold in your pee for like 20 hours. You have to like go there at 7 in the morning.
But why would you have to hold in your pee? There's so many
because you're
people
just
there
stuck.
that there's
you're stuck
nobody
in
would
this
even know.
Massive. Yeah,
exactly.
That's
but the
true.
people
You
are
just
so close that nobody
pee
would
together,
even know.
like standing.
Yeah, just kind of like
especially today with all the rain.
Yeah, that's
Slows
true.
down.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you guys for logging on. Hopefully I'll catch you guys at races for sure. I'll get to plug in again and hear some of the feedback in some of the more routine episodes, but I'm thankful for you taking your time tonight. So happy New Year's to tomorrow and for the next year for bologna as a plan for New Year's.
Bologna and
Happy
cheese
New Year.
sandwiches, baby.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Thanks
See
for
you guys.
having
Happy
us.
New Year.
All right. See ya. All right. So to all who logged in, thank you so very much for tuning in, for being a part of it, for supporting, for weighing in, for letting us banter, and really just with the hope of spending time with friends and an awesome community. So I am going to try to catch my daughters and wife here at home before it gets too late. So rather than banter further, I am going to hit it. So for all of you who support us in any way, shape, or form, or for just being an awesome community out there, thank you. And we will catch you in 2023. So happy New Year, all. All right. See ya.